Hey, how are you today? 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Okay. Today I will be having a very good show, and please don't be disappointed because today is having someone on the show. You know, everybody know I am a supporter of Alex Cummings, and I support him 100%. But when other people ask and say, listen, man, I need to come on your show in the interest of Liberia, and they are in the opposition group, I don't think there should be any problem. And let me see if I can. Okay, good, good. The chairman of LPP, the chairman of LPP will be on my show today in the next 15 minutes or less than 15 minutes. He will be coming on and we'll be discussing LPP, and he want to give his thought. He want to express himself to tell the Liberian people why LPP is the best choice. I know some of you are going to feel bad, but Muna, why are you bringing the man on the show? Listen, relax, relax, take a deep breath, relax yourself. Don't get panic. Don't be afraid. Don't say, "Oh, the man using your platform to promote Gonglo or whatsoever." We are all in the group together. We are all there together. So this is the place where we need to come and share our thoughts and explain to our people why he is the best guy. And I will only ask him questions. I'm not going to argue. We're not having a debate, but I think he deserves a chance. And he deserves a chance to explain to the people. And I will ask him questions. So I am in the seat. I am in the driver's seat to ask the question, and I will open the line, and you too can ask him a question. But don't forget, and come next month. It's next month, yeah. Next month, the ANC Global will be having a convention from the 14th to the 16th in Maryland County. Oh, damn! I said Maryland County. What's going on? What's going on? I said Maryland County, Maryland, and DMV, and America. So share the video. Share the video. Let us talk. Let us have a conversation. And I will still talk about Alex Cummings today. I will talk about him. I will always talk about him. He is my choice for now. And it almost like you you in this church. You members of some, like the church. The first church I ever went to. A member of the New Life for Gospel Church. And then while in that church, I know other people who organize the church. And they say, "Oh, Munema, man, you got to come to the church, join my church." I can't join your church. I can visit your church, but I can't join the church because you know what? I already have a church. So I already have a candidate. Tier one is not a bad guy, but I have a candidate already. But at the same time, it is the right of tier one. Even if George Ria want to talk, he can talk, but George Ria will not talk anyway. But it is the right of tier one to run. And so there's nothing wrong with it. So please don't get panic. Don't get panic. Do not. Don't get panic, please. So don't forget, Maryland next month, the 16th, the 14th to the 16th. We will be there. Mr. Cummings will be there. You can come and ask all the necessary questions. We'll be having a good time. People from all over, friends from Liberia will be there. So come up. Let us have a good time. And ANC members, if you're in the Virginia area, you're in DC, you're in Maryland, you're in Delaware, Philadelphia, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, I think it's shorter for you, because if people coming from all the way in South Dakota, Minnesota, California can come to Maryland. So if you are a supporter of Alexander Cummings, you need to show up. If you want to see, if you want to add your voice to what is going on, you need to show up at that convention and support. We need money, support financially. You know, we got the 3M. The 3M is what? Money, messaging, mobilization. Or you can say messaging, mobilization, and a backup with money. Or you can start with the money and get good message and mobilize. Or you can mobilize with the message and then bring the money. Either way. So it's the 3M. That is what. So if you are a supporter of Mr. Cummings, don't forget. Uh, 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 okay, let me call this guy and tell him that send this thing in already. So please share the video, share the video, share the video. You can also go on YouTube. You can be on YouTube and watch it. And I send nothing to your email. That's right. I'm clicking on, but it's a minute. It right here. It's as again. Yeah, I said it, but because I told you to do the frank thing, but I check on it. We still not. So I send it again. I just put myself on mute, so the sound that I know, because I'm talking to the guest, is giving him problem to connect. Okay, you see it? You see it? Okay, but I can see you. You can see all these people. But I can see you. You got to hit. You got to click to come in. You got to hit enter. Enter the room. Because if you enter the room, I will see you. I will see you popping up on my screen. Because when you click on it, it will take you to a page where they will tell you to type your name, how you want to come in, how they will call you, because your name will appear. Like you got to type it in. Then you hit enter. When you say they say enter. I'm sorry, God, for the delay. I know you people sometimes you're impatient, and you guys not happy. I know I can see my own people here. I got sun now. I know I got sun. If I get sun, please give me a thumbs up, please. And I just want us to have that conversation. So please, I want you to bear with me, share the video, and let us have some good conversation. And I know you want good for Liberia. You're not one of those people who try to be selfish and not to, you know. Okay, I gotta get myself some water to drink. Yeah, man, I hope the man, the only thing with iPhone to connect to StreamYard is hard. Nice weather. A lot of echo. Okay. Yeah, because I'm not talking right now. That's why the echo, the breeze in the back. All right. Let me adjust this. I got some new microphone here. Let me see. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I show it disappear now. Okay. Well, the show will continue no matter what. The show will continue. And I want to say thanks for tuning in. It's been a long day today. Today I was on President Weah. I listened to President Weah and making his remarks at the Temple of Justice, where this old man were retiring. And that whole retiring, tell myself I got a serious problem with it. It's so sad. I think Chief Justice or justices at the age of 70 retiring. We need to look at some of this stuff. We need to go back to our constitution and look at a lot of things that are not right. And at the age of 70, you got to retire. Then at the age of this, so you retire to be. Yeah, you can still run for office. That position is not a civil servant position. But it's so funny. The third branch of government, the second, that's the third branch of government. No, that's the second branch of government because the legislatures make the law, the executive implement the laws, and the guys interpret the laws. Yeah, they're the third branch of government. But the third branch of government is always appointed by the president and confirmed by the Senate. So the third branch of government, if you look at it, they are also civil servants. So let us be honest. I think they're right. The third branch of government, they do not elect. But in America, the president appoint the chief justice, but it's a lifetime position. That is why they know who to put in this place. A lifetime position. Yeah, it's a lifetime position. I think this man having a problem coming on. I send the key to him. Let me try again on Messenger. I don't know what to do now. I try already. I try. Let me see Messenger again. Gee. Yeah, everything I sent to him. All right, I see what's going on. I see the problem now. Okay, Zeze, because you're using iPhone, you need to take that link and put it back into your Safari and open it because iPhone will not just give you the icon because you're using iPhone. If you're using your laptop, it will take you straight. Now the messenger, when you click on the messenger, that link that you saw on the messenger, you're supposed to take that link and open the Safari on your phone, like iPhone Safari, and then you paste it in there, and then you click on it. It will open the email up. It will open it up and take you straight because iPhone will not just go there straight that like that. So on Messenger, when whatever information I have, as you copy, they say okay on Messenger when you click on it, they say do not have either icon. Then they say follow the steps. Copy the page link. Then you hit the copy link right near it. Then it says open Safari, paste the link into your address, and then it will take you straight. Because iPhone is a selfish. Because I got an iPhone, but I don't use it. I use it before, so it's easy for me. And when people send me, I use my iPhone. Okay, when you click on Messenger on your Messenger, you click on it. What it giving you? It give you. They say open this page in Safari. You know what they say? Eh? Yes, but you got to come in. You see me, but I'm not seeing. So it's like that old one you're using again. I just sent you. I, I I just sent you. I sent it to your email. The one that you were using now, the one I sent to your email. But if you're not using that, if you didn't get that one to the email, then okay, let me send one to the messenger. And then you click on it. So I'm going to send you the second one again. The second one I'm going to send you. Let me go to messenger. We'll get it. It just okay, my people. I know you're pissed off. So, but let the show continue. So, President Weah said that he knew Kopo since 1986 when he was playing for IE. When he was playing for IE, he knew Kopo since 1986. And I would tell you, President Weah loved to make up stories. President Weah loved to make up stories just to satisfy himself, to make himself look too good, to look too good. This man is saying that he he used to go to Kopo. Kopo used to give him money. Kopo used to do this. Listen, I've been around from 1985, end of 85, 86, all the way. I used to sit in that same bus, that Yes bus, to go on the football field. They used to dress right to Yes Transport. When Joshua had come from school, I can remember Joshua, Borchas, and all the guys that come from school. The big boss those days around IE that were not Kopo. Kopo were never around IE. You ask, I know Kopo the play, he was sitting here, he said, what time they walk into me before? Yes, Kopo at IE, man. But he was not one of those who came around IE. So if President Weah, you don't tell me, say President Weah is so grateful. That's a lie. Because the people that we know that helped President Weah when he was playing football, who gave him real money, the late Sam Burnett, the late Willie Russell. There's a guy in Minnesota today, the guy who took the first old car and gave it to George Weah. The guy in Minnesota sick. The people who George Weah was friends with, who they were cool together. His friends then that grew up with him, who moved around. Some of them, they left their homes. He never helped them. Only President Weah know who helped him. So new people around President Weah, so new people. So if you tell me President Weah is grateful to people, then I tell you that wrong. So the politics that he played, this, as I saw from the text, oh, the president is so grateful. Yeah, George Weah never forget. George Weah ain't helping people who help him. I'm not talking about myself. I needed nothing from George Weah. I do nothing for George Weah to help me. As far as I'm concerned, George Weah owe me. I owe him a penny. Because I used to do things for him. I never had money, but I used to do things for him. You know what I'm saying? So all this nonsense here, people talking, George Weah this, George Weah, nobody hate President Weah. President Weah just a bad leader, that's all. President Weah is just a bad leader. Tomorrow I will be on the Liberty Radio and 8 o'clock tomorrow. Get ready. And I'm so happy the Liberty Radio is right in District 9, right in the heart of CDC, going all the way to District 6, going all the way. They're getting the message. And today I received a text from somebody, and I'm not going to call their name because I don't want to put the person in trouble. The person, y'all remember the last show that I did in the same place here, the last show that I did. And President Weah watch it. My show don't carry 10,000 people now. It don't carry 2,000, but it carry good message. It carry message to people that can understand it. That can say, what about talking? The person say, my man, you know your brother, that coalition man. Why you can just let it go? I say, hey. My brother got nothing to do with me. I got nothing to do with my brother. My brother got a political life. I have my political life. My brother and myself were together. I voted for Charles Taylor. So what a big deal about it? So they say, my man, that's why President Weah don't want to call your brother and this and that. I said, well, then he need to fire plenty of people. He need to fire a lot of people because most of these people, I see them when I talk to them. Some of them came here recently. I talked to some of them. But I'm not looking for friendship. I am not looking for friendship. I love Liberia more than I love my friends. Let me be able to understand today. So this is not about who you know or who you don't know. Okay, good. I see he just came in. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Okay, you in now. You good? That's good. I just seen you, and that's a good thing. You can hear me there. Yeah. Okay, guys. Thanks for being patient. And I get my guest in the back room. He will be coming on anytime. And I sure you know him. You have heard about him. He's a veteran into the Liberian politics. He's not no other person, but he is the newly elected chairman of LPP. I know some people say LPP. Yes, LPP, Liberian People Party. They've been around for so long. So guys, share this video. You can also follow me on YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on the general page. So if you go to TGN TV, you can watch it, or we'll be going live. And you all know about his name is YANQUI ZAZA. He is the newly elected chairman of LPP. He replaced Councillor Joseph Kolako, who just contested in Lofa County. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know we wasted time, and it was not an easy thing. We should have done this show since 4 o'clock today, but I apologize. And you know, in America, yeah, when you get a wife and the children, you got to be careful. The children and the wife, they are very important. So I'm not going to waste time. I'm going to bring my guest on. He's no other person but Mr. YANQUI ZAZA. How are you, sir? How's everything with you today?
Thank you, sir, and thank you for being patient and helping me
Don't
Thank
worry.
you. Good
Don't
evening to
worry.
all.
Eh, Yeah, thank you too for being patient. Thank you very much. Okay. I know you. Your name is YANQUI ZAZA, a Liberian. You live in New York for some time. You retire. You're in Liberia now. You've been in the politics business for a long time. Long time. I remember. I saw this face at the All Liberian Conference, if I'm mistaken, when they had the alliance. You were there. You're in Liberia at the time.
In 1997, no, sir, I was in the
Yes,
U.S.
you're in the US, but you're one of the guys that played that role. Okay, tell me something about
I
yourself
agree.
first. Yes, tell me something about yourself and how you got to this, how you get to know about the LPP. But I just want to know who is Yankwe Zizi.
I graduated from Tottenham High in 1973. 74, I joined the University of Liberia, where I became a member of the Student Unification Party. And of course, we got involved into activities through Moja, Movement for Justice in Africa. And of course, that led us to 1980 when we organized a Congress, and the Congress was mandated to form a political party. But by January 14, 1983, I was in the US to seek further education, which of course I completed my master and later on got my CPA, Certified Public Accountant, and worked with New York City for some time. And I said to myself, I'm not going to allow Donald Trump to deport me. Let me go back to my home country and see what I can do. So basically, that's what I am. I'm from Lofa County, specifically Feasible Town, ZAZA district.
Okay, that's a good one. You know, when you achieve a lot, it's good. That is the one you have for yourself. You can't share that with nobody. You can't even leave it with your children. So that's a good thing. But I love to see people who love to serve. You guys been around a long time. We knew about the Moja. When Moja came in, the Moja turned to what? LPPM.
Yes,
Okay.
Moja gave birth to LPP, Liberian
19,
People's Party.
1984,
Yes.
in March of 1984. Now you just replaced a chairman who was there for 17 years. 17 years. LP been around for so long. If I'll go back today, I would say yes. LP, UP, and Action Party. I also consider them as the party of multi-parties in Liberia. Like most of the guys, the Bacon Mafia, the late Amos Sawyer, and
May
Say
their soul
Gwami,
rest in peace.
may the soul rest in peace. All the guys that fought hard today and they went through everything. They argued, they fought, they went everything. Today, we have this multi-party that most Liberians taking it for joke, as if, oh man, this thing is nothing. But my question here today, since 1984, LPP been around for so long. Every time election coming on, we hear about LPP. Every time election coming on. But before we get there, let me go back to how you got to the chairmanship. You guys had an election recently, or how the whole process would play, how it went through.
Well, basically, we were trying to organize a party, and we were trying to see how we could encourage Councillor Jala, now Senator Jala, to at least see to it that we organize and gradually elect officers of the party because,
Your volume,
for
your
some
voice.
time you can
You're
see
breaking up.
that
You got to.
lose.
I hope you hold on 1 minute. You can hear me.
Yeah,
You
I'm hearing
break
you,
it.
sir.
Yeah. Okay. Now you got to speak. I
But
think come closer.
I'm saying
Yeah.
the Civil War had an impact on every Liberian. And
Yeah.
of course, members of the progressive group are not an exception. It affected all of us. We got this, this birds and went to different places. Someone went to exile, but I left before the Civil War. So, of course, to effectuate some of the things we wanted to do, we decided to see how we can organize ourselves. And we had an election May 6, 2022, and I got elected as chairman.
Okay. Good. Now, but this what surprised me. The LPP, the last election, every election they took part, people tell Ben is standard bearer. But after the election, everybody go dead. No LPP, you can't hear nobody talking until 6 years, pump, they come back. Why? Now, LPP is back again.
Well, a political party is almost sometimes like a marriage or love affairs. There are ups and downs. There are struggles to go through. It's not that you shouldn't fall. When you fall, you should be able to get back and up and start running. And that's what we have done. But again, sometimes when you are a political party and your message is not getting through, you don't insist to do different things. You continue to see whether you can have an impact, whether you can encourage the citizens or the electorate to listen to you. And we see it now that it's important. We fought the political war that is one man, one vote. We didn't sit down to see that the elites insist that you can only vote when you have a property, when you have property, or you have a deed, or you have a land. We have to remove that particular clause. We also have to tell people, open your eyes and struggle for what you believe in, advocate for what you believe in. But we think that stage is over. The fact that you have everybody elected because he or she has the ability to campaign, that is over. The next struggle we have to go through is the economic struggle. And there where we thought that we can play a role. So we believe it's the time to play a role where Liberia can have at least the ability to make use of the resources that the country has, and the masses are not benefiting. Only few people are benefiting. So it's almost like the election, only few people are voting. Also, we come to the economic side, only few people are benefiting. There's a distinction between the economic policies and, of course, the electoral policies. One man, one vote is good. Now we're saying let the rural people participate in producing and, of course, benefiting from their resources. That is the struggle now. There is a saying that says that government properties are elephant meat. It can't finish. Or when you steal, it's okay. You see, or we used to have what they call government boom. If you play on the football field, they call you a government boom. It means anybody could kick you down. It was not a foul. That's the mentality we think LPP can play the role in changing that mentality. We should begin to behave like citizens that when they steal, they should be made ashamed. They should, in fact, believe that they're bringing shame to the family. They should not be celebrated. They should not be called hero. And when you walk out of government without properties, we should consider you to be a good citizen. That's the reason why LPP came into this picture, because we believe that is lacking. This is why corruption is systemic. When former President Ellen Johnson said we call it a vampire, we think we are better. We are positioned. We understand. We have the stomach. We have the fire in the belly to fight that war. Nobody else knows how to fight that war than LPP members are. And just look at the background. Tipota, Dr. Tobana Tipota. He doesn't have a house until recently. Dr. Boima family, they didn't have a house. Many of our colleagues, because we believed that government properties should be for the people and not for individuals. So that's the reason why we came into the war, to say, look, this is the time we will resurrect Liberia. When Liberia was not respecting the democratic value, one man, one vote, we came into the picture. We redeemed Liberia. And we think now we are capable to redeem Liberia, because people years ago did not understand. After the Civil War, people didn't understand when you said to them, don't steal. They thought stealing was the best way to go. But we think by now people will understand the message that is important to protect the properties of government. The properties of government do not belong to one individual. It belongs to everybody. And that's why we
Okay.
believe that's the reason why we came to the picture.
Okay, that's a good thing. And nobody, And everybody knows that when it came to this getting the elite who that would consider the two-way party at the time out of office, it was not an easy thing. The progressive, the Moja guys, along with Backup Matthew, you guys went through everything. We got that one straight now. Everybody has the power to vote right now. You can hear me? You can hear me loud and
I'm
clear?
hearing you. Yes.
Okay.
And
We
thank
can
you for
all vote.
repeating that.
One
That's
man, one vote,
important.
which is good. One man, one vote is fine. But when you look at our population today, there are other kids right now between 19 to 35 years old. They're looking at LPP now. They say, but LPP is another new party just coming in. But the name that you call Tipote, Tipote have always every election from the past and 97 to present. Tipote have been the standard bearer. And he always contests. But after the election, everybody go and sit. Nobody saying anything. But the Liberian youth, the people who know about LPP, they know more around. They are going out. You think LPP going to survive in the kind of situation? Because the time next year is election. How you going to manage?
Oh, that's very easy. Develop the message. And let me just summarize for you some of the message we think.
He's in a bad era. Share the video, guys, and we will try to bring him back on, and he will come back on. He gave me some good points. You know, the LPP been around for a long time, since 1980 and 1984. I'm sorry, Moja from 1980, 1984. I think if I'm mistaken it was in March when they were organized, and Dr. Sawyer was the first, if I'm not mistaken, the first chairman of the LPP. Dr. Amos Claudius, the late Claudius Sawyer. And now that is the ticket that Tewan Gonglo is running on. And my question to him, if he come back, we'll continue the conversation. Please don't go anywhere. Share the video. Please let us know what is going on. And I will open the line later on that you can ask questions. But I got tons of questions that we're asking. But I love to see this. I want to see people going back home to participate in the election. I want to see people fighting. That's the beauty of democracy. It's not because I'm supporting Mr. Cummings. Every Liberian has the right. If you ask Ellis Cummings today, he will tell you every Liberian has the right to contest. It's not a job that you're applying for. It's not about qualification, because everybody in a race are qualified. Mr. Cummings is qualified. Tewan Gonglo is qualified. Even President Weah is qualified. Joseph Walker is qualified, but we are looking for a leadership. So these are the questions we need to ask people who have the ability, who prepared and ready to lead. These are the questions that we must ask everyone who going to get into this race. So I'm sorry that his phone, I think he's using his iPhone and the network was not too good. But so far, he makes some good points. But our thing is that the people of Liberia, the young people, people who are in charge right now, majority of the voters were born in 2000. So imagine anybody who was born in 2000, I'm sorry, 1990 to present, they don't know anything about LPP. Or people who were born 1987, they know nothing about LPP. People who were born in 2000, they know nothing about LPP. And if you look at it, the only old party right now, when I say old party, is the Unity Party. Unity Party participated in the 1985 elections in Liberia, along with Action Party and whatsoever. So Unity Party is still around. The United People's Party, they try, but they give up. They just going to distribute themselves in other parties, but LPP want to come back. What do they have for time? Next year is election. How long is it going to take you to campaign? You need money. You need a lot of resources to move around the country to convince Liberians It's not an easy thing. Imagine people are saying that Mr. Cummings is a new guy. It's not easy, you know. So I hope he come back on and we continue the conversation. But I got a lot of questions to ask. You see, like what I was saying here, Tipote, Dr. Tobanan Tipote, since he went back home after the whole Dole thing, he never worked in government, which is true. He refused to work. I don't know if he was offered, but he refused to participate in anything. He had the Susu, the Suzuku, what the name? Somebody please give me that name. He had this group, and every election he's on the ballot. But Liberians, when you look at him, the Liberians say, hey, my man, the papi that old man, we know, you know. But you guys, they still got some good ideas. But they refused to work and they just decided not to. But that's the problem I have with most of them. Even the chairman, the former chairman, he contested in Lofa County. This gone election. Imagine the former chairman, Joseph Kolako Koto Jala. 17 years. He been chairman 17 years. This man ran as an independent candidate in Lofa. And CDC also endorsed him. He was not at the program, but when they interviewed him, I can remember, he accepted it. Tiawan Gonglo now, who is the standard bearer, did not support LPP. He supported UP. For the last 12 years, he supported UP. And 2017, he supported Boaka. But now he's the chairman of he's the standard bearer now for the party. So my question here, why now? Okay, I would put aside the last 12 years of Ellen Johnson government. But my question here, and I would love for the chairman to answer, Tier 1 has been in Liberia since President Weah took over. And he have not been speaking. He just been on his advocacy, on his poor man lawyer thing. And he never criticized and said anything. But just lately, because of the situation I was within the CPP, because of CPP trying to they rig my road, so maybe that's why they decided to left have another alternative. But it's not an easy thing. Politics in Liberia is a hard thing, my people. It's hard. It's hard. Okay. Thank God he's on. I think the internet is not an easy thing. Okay. Hello?
Yes, I'm there.
Okay. So what's the problem? Your internet? And you changed your position or something?
No, I didn't change my position. I'm here where I am.
Oh, okay. But because you just disappear, I don't know.
Do you know where I stopped? What issue I was addressing?
Yeah, we're going to go right back there. I asked you about and Dr. Tipote. I said every year, every election time, Dr. Tipote would participate in the election. But
and
after the election,
what messages we got that the young people will follow?
So I said the young people from 19 to 35. Some of them were born 1990, some of them 1985, some of them 2000. Some people are telling, in fact, someone called me and said LPP, another new party, just tried to get in the race. I said, which are the party? They say Tier 1 Gonglo party. So some people are looking at LPP as a new party. But when you look at the time frame, how you think you'll have enough time to campaign to go through 15 counties?
Yes. And I can tell you why. The hardship in Monrovia, the hardship in Liberia is just too much. It's unbearable. You cannot travel. Before 1970, you could travel, from Monrovia to Feasible Town. Today you can't even move from one town to another. Go look in the Southeast. There's no country that is experiencing that. How come in our country, for example, 10 billion came to Liberia between 2006 and 2017, 2018? What happened to the 10 billion? That not 10 billion that was generated by the government, but 10 billion that donors gave us. How come we ate our money in Sierra Leone? They use their money to develop places. So it's easy. It's not difficult to tell the people that things are going bad. Madame Salif said corruption is a vampire. Corruption is a vampire. But mind you, her son received 10 million from Chevron. She refused to allow people to at least encourage her son to pay the money. She took responsibility. Nokal, 30 million got lost. She refused to account for it. So there's just too much evidence out there that will convince the children today, if we call them children, that yes, there's a need for change. We are came with the hope that he say he has good heart. But no, he doesn't have good heart if we see the lifestyle he's living. To build 39, 49 houses in less than 2 years. You cannot have a good heart and do that. So there's just too much evidence that the children will know. Today, we will have less number of children or fewer number of children who will be in the Morovia area patrolling using pen to live if we had the guts to question Ellen John Sirleaf, how come the rice project in Lofa failed? That rice project was not only to produce rice, it was intended to absorb most of the children in Monrovia to have a job. But instead of that, they ate the money. And nobody had the guts to ask the former president of Liberia and the former vice president of Liberia what happened to that money. Only LPP has the stomach, the belief, and the experience to raise those kind of issues. So it's easier to tell the children why they are on the gold mines, why they are in the diamond mines, why they are not in school. We're saying to you, if LPP is to be given the chance, we will insist that the rural communities let them be involved in digging gold, mining the diamond. You will see foreigners, either from Sierra Leone, Guinea, or Africa or Lebanon, will not be digging our golds, our diamonds. Rather, you will have the rural communities who will be digging gold. But once they do that, you will see they will not allow the children to be the employees. They will allow qualified people to be the employees. Therefore, the children will go to school and they will have food to eat. Because beyond that, the rural communities will get involved in eating cassava, planting yam in the morning before they go to school. As a result, they'll be able to learn. So there are just too many things we'll use to tell the children who haven't voted or who are about to vote that look, stop sitting on the fence. We'll tell people who have not voted because they are discouraged that look, it's the time, this is the time to change. Other than that, Liberia is going to go into a civil war. So too many messages we use to convince the people in a short time.
Okay, we'll get to that point. You gave me a lot of messages out that I need to ask you about. But this is the thing that's going to happen. People might say, and the old politicians will come at you. The late Amos Sawyer was the chairman of good governance for 12 years. The late Amos Sawyer, he's a member of LPP. We're going to Tier 1, but they saw all these things. Nobody said anything to Ellen. Nobody opened their mouth. Nobody said, "Oh, Madam President, this is the way you carry on things. It's not right. I'm going to leave." He was at that position until he died. So why now that you as a new chairman and speaking out at this last minute to time that election is tomorrow? Do you think the people really will want to listen? They will say, well, one of these things, LPP go and come. Every time election coming, we see them. After election, they go again. You think they're really going to listen?
But look at the elections that took place. I don't think the kind of message or messages we're giving out, people were doing those things. You talk about the late Dr. Amos Sawyer being governor or chairman of the governance commission. That's true. He said that. He wrote proposal. But you see, that's what happens. When you become part of the inner cycle, it is difficult to raise your voice. You either resign or you stay there and keep quiet. So that what happened to Dr. Amos Sawyer. It's not that we don't know what he was doing. He made a lot of good proposals. He wrote a lot of good books. But the president had to implement them. It is the chief executive that implement policies that are written by technocrats or governors or directors or ministers. You can write a proposal. If the president doesn't want to implement it, she or he will not encourage the lawmakers to pass the legislation into law. That will happen. For example, the decentralization. They wrote the decentralization many years ago, but it stayed, I think, on the shelf of the president or on the shelf of the lawmakers. So yes, he was there. He was there as an advisor, not the decision maker. Are we going to hold him responsible? Yes, that's true. We should hold him responsible. He should have resigned. But because he didn't resign, should we be held responsible as members of LPP? We say, no, don't do that. Give us a chance because we have better messages. Two, we got people who have the ability, when they see things, they say so. Whether it is wrong, whether it's right, whether it's going to cost them their job. Like Tiawan Gonglo did. He resigned from government. Are you going to punish him for that, for resigning? I don't think so. Because he stood up and told Ellen, I can't work with you if this is how you're going to run the government.
Okay. And people will come back at you and said, the progressive was given a chance during the interim government time, although we were fighting war. But I can remember because I worked in that government with my late bossman, Serenius Fall, at Labor Ministry. I remember the rate was $6 to $1 when Amos Sawyer came in.
And what is it today?
Today is $1.50.
Okay.
At that time,
what is better?
No, wait. It was $6 at the time. The progressive was the one that took over the interim government. The progressive, the Boyman family, the Amos Sawyer, all these guys were together. And I don't know, you can tell me if the decision was right because they were only in Monrovia while Charles still were around, and they printed money with Baron Tarr, who was not confirmed by the Senate, and signed that money, but Dr. Sawyer was the president, acting president. But you guys were all progressive. And what happened? We never moved forward. We just spent another time arguing about the war. So you think you can defend yourself on that one because they're going to bring everything at you now. Say, well, progressive had a time, man. What you want to come back for?
But, that's a good question. Let's go back to the composition of that government. Was it a government of progressive or a government of coalition or collaborators?
Coalition, but majority were progressive.
Okay, it's good. And that's
Dr.
one of the reasons why you see
your people
we are very skeptical when we talk about collaborators. Because when it's a government coalition, you got people with different philosophies, people are deaf. You had almost every institution represented in our government. Every institution. And every institution was demanding and insisting on what he or she wanted. So it was not a progressive government. To stay progressive, people had a chance. That's a statement that is far from the truth. It was
okay. Let me hold you there. Dr. Sawyer.
Government collaborators.
Dr. Sawyer was the president for that long. Dr. Guanu, may his soul rest in peace. You have Famule. You have Jubaru Kalon. You have all these guys. I'm calling the progressive guys now. And even my late bossman, Serenos Fall, people never knew whether he progressive or until he came up and said he was supporting UPP. So they have other guys who were from the progressive. They were majority. They were at the top.
Well, you go majority, but let's go back.
The main dude, Amos Sawyer.
What was the purpose of the interim government? Was
to bring the country together.
Wait. Was it to manage the resources or end the civil war?
End the civil war, but they were managing the resources at the same time.
Did you have resources in Monrovia? You didn't have the timber. You didn't have the gold, the diamond in Monrovia. You had the timber, the gold, the diamond, everything in the area that was controlled by Charles Taylor.
Okay, right? Okay, now good. We'll get to this election part.
No. Let's deal with that.
Wait. We will get to this part that you hold it, but I will take you back.
But let's deal with this part before you take me back.
Yeah, I will take you to Amos Sawyer. No, we'll deal with Amos Sawyer. We'll come back to this part. So we got more time here myself.
No, you said the progressive. So let's deal with the progressive first.
Yeah, we're going to the progressive.
Using the progressive for filling.
No, we're going to the progressive now.
Government progressive. No, let's agree on that first.
Okay, it was a collaboration or coalition from
Thank you, sir.
different
So whether
parties.
you
I
have 4 or
agree.
5 persons
They
in the
had
government,
UP, they had UP, they had ALP, they had Unity Party. They were all
even
in that
AFL
government.
was there. AFL was there.
AFL, yeah, that was the government. That was the
Okay,
government.
so
Something,
yeah,
but it was
and
headed by.
it's the Una City. Wait, it's the Una City that allow anybody from anywhere to come through. Yeah,
Yes, but
they
it
allow
was headed. It was headed by.
Monrovia.
It was headed by Progressive. At that, the one of the income was the maritime money.
That's
That's when
all.
a lot of people. Okay, yes, that was the
When you
maritime
say,
money.
when you say
But
one
at
of
the
them,
same
it means
time,
there were
at
other
the
sources.
same time, at the same time, like Gus Coverhogan, he was cutting his log in child status era and shaping it into interim government era too now. So they were all doing business together. But what I'm trying to tell you that they will try to hold you.
When you cut logs in the Sano area, do you bring it to Monrovia or you use
They take it to Buchanan Port. They take it to Buchanan Port. Interim government was
Buchanan Port was not on the interim
no
government.
at that time. It was
what time? It was not under the interim government.
No, listen, it was still part of the interim government. It was part of the interim government, Buchanan Port. But they came to Monrovia. Okay, what I'm trying to tell you that they will hold you. I want you to defend yourself on that. They will say, but the Progressive had a time, interim government time. Why you want to come back at this time? This is all new people thing that y'all give the young people chance. Y'all give new candidate chance.
And
who want the old Progressive?
Have new people.
Eh? You better run long time. They will say you better run long time.
You want to compare Borkai to Tiawan?
We already fighting for Borkai to leave. They need
opposition.
Okay, let's come back.
Are you saying Coming is younger than Tiawan?
No, it's not the age you go by. When they say old people, we don't talk about the age. No. We say we want new faces. We want when you new in politics, they consider you young.
It's an old face.
No, Cummings is new in politics. Cummings is new in politics. Yeah, that way we're not talking about Cummings right now.
New.
No, he's new. He's a new face.
You don't put new.
He's a new face.
He's a new face.
He a new face to politics. He a new face and new ideas.
Did we try Judy Bryant as a new man? Did we try Judy Bryant as a new face?
Yes, you consider as a new face.
Didn't we try Ellen Johnson as a new face? Didn't we try Opon today?
No.
We are a new man.
But listen, listen. This I gave you this time. That's just show. Relax. You're stuck until you get tired. Relax yourself.
All the
questions.
You should address that.
No,
you are saying you want new faces, but the new
no. I never listen. My question to you. I said,
yeah,
people will come at you and said, but they gave the progressive. They gave the progressive time when the election started. Just when the campaign started. We gave the progressive time. Interim government, whether you are in the UP or the ALP, I'm not ALP or Unity Party or the United People's Party, you guys were all progressive. You agree? You guys were all progressive. Back on Matthew. Okay. So they consider you as progressive.
Was a collaborating government.
And the interim government did not perform well at that time. We had to have another interim government. You agree?
Let's define the parameters in terms of what the interim government purpose was, to where the interim government was controlling. The interim government purpose solely was to make sure we lead to election. We will go and have free and fair election. We have done that. So we were successful.
No, you never did it.
Huh?
It was never done it was never done by IGNU.
It created a path to that.
We had 3 other interim government before.
Before
we had election.
The foundation to do that, sir. 2, the interim government was not controlling area where we have our natural resources.
But the interim government failed. You agree that the interim government failed?
Failed where?
The interim government failed under Amos Sawyer, so they were replaced with another interim government.
No. The interim Amos Sawyer left because first day issue have been for 6 months. It was because of difficulties that kept him there.
6 months went to how? 5 years? 6 months went to how many years? 6 months went to.
No. First you say he failed, that's why he left.
I said they failed, they changed it, they replaced it. They replaced the government.
Let's get a record straight. Let's get it. The records that we have is that he should have been there for 6 months. But because of difficulties, because of Chancellor refusal to honor, 19 different agreements were signed, and Taylor refused to respect them. That's the reason why Amos Sawyer stayed there for a
And
long
why
period.
and why they were in charge? And why they were in charge?
Let's get a record straight. Let's get a record straight. The reason why Amos Sawyer was selected because he was the only person who agreed that if he became head of the interim government, he would not have to be elected during normal time.
That was the agreement. Yeah, that was the agreement.
Including the YANQUI, resigned. So Amos Sawyer took the job because he felt that he didn't want to be president. We only went there for a temporary period in order to lead us to peace and stability, and he did that. How can you call that failure?
And why they were there? Why they were in charge? While they were in charge, another rebel group was formed. The LPC. The LPC.
But when
they came from the same Monrovia.
What?
They came from Monrovia, LPC and Lofa Defense Force. So they extended the conflict.
Because were organized, therefore the interim government failed.
Okay, they extended the conflict. Well, anyway, listen.
Later on, the peace and the election were held.
Okay, these are conversations that you guys will have to pass by first. These are the. I'm just telling. I'm speaking as a voter, and what other people will say, because progressive. Okay, so that's why I'm bringing it up. That's why I'm bringing it up. The voters in like yes,
they're speaking for the people who have questions.
That's why I'm bringing it up.
Then to understand what happened. And that's why I'm making sure we set the record straight.
But thank God,
the interim government had a purpose. It was not there to manage the resources. Firstly, the resources were managed by Taylor and the warlords. Two, the interim government was there for a purpose to make sure the election takes place, and that took place. Now you can say 2, 3, 4, 5 interim government came in, but that's true. That part of the process. So
okay, they will concentrate on the first interim government, which was the IGNU, headed by Dr. Amos Sawyer, or progressive.
You concluding that he failed. What did he fail on?
No, they failed because one, the first mistake they made, you know that they printed a money with Baron Tarr's signature.
Wait, what made that a mistake?
No, wait, let me finish.
No, let me.
No, wait.
You brought that out. Let me know.
Wait.
Prince Johnson here asked
unconstitutional. No, let me explain. Let me answer the question. You will answer the question. You will answer. No. No, you will answer the question. Wait.
Okay, go ahead.
They printed this money, but the signature on that money was Dr. Baron Tarr, who was not even confirmed by the Senate, and he was never confirmed. So they did it without even the consent of the Senate. That people who supposed to know better, and they printed that money. It was right. Was it right or wrong?
Well, first, I'm saying to you, let's look at what happened. Go to the story, the true story. You had a war that was going on. You had warlords who had access to bank vaults, who were controlling a bunch of money that the government did not have control over, including Prince Johnson. You wanted, because of technicality, for the government to be so stupid to allow Prince Johnson to control the money? Is that how you managed it? No. Into it.
We agreed to the printing. I just said we agreed.
Now your issue.
We agreed to the printing. Why Baron Tarr signed that money when he was not even confirmed by the Senate? I said, why Baron Tarr will sign a money when he was not even?
What are the mechanisms put in place for the signature of the money? What is it? Do you know it?
It got to be signed by someone who is actually a legitimate minister.
You come and say the man.
It got to come from the Senate. The Senate, the House got to agree.
That the House that we knew. He was a negotiator, a perfect one, and he worked on it. And can convince people. Amos Sawyer can come in this room today. He will look in your face and convince you, and you know that he had the ability. So I don't see the reason why he could not convince.
Amos Sawyer, Dr. Sawyer, Professor Sawyer, may his soul rest in peace, was the president, acting president.
Before we print, interim president.
Interim president. Yeah, interim president. Before we print money,
there's a distinction.
Before we print any money, it got to go through the legislatures, whether they are acting or whether you're interim legislatures, they got to go through it and approve it. We all agree. And anybody who going to sign that money, it cannot be an acting president or acting minister or whatsoever. What we try to say, Baron Tan signed already. The money was printed before he even went for confirmation. And we all know it was wrong. People never knew, librarians never knew about it. You think it was right at the time?
You said it was wrong. So you stick to your point. I'm saying to you, the situation we had on hand, you had a warlord, Prince Johnson, who killed Samuel Kanyando, President Samuel Kanyando, having access to the bank. And you want to waste time for him to use the money and destabilize the country and create another war? We said no. If it means, if you are, let's assume you're right. If it requires us to make sure that we do the right thing, we did that. To make sure that Prince Johnson does not use the money illegally to undermine the interim government, because he didn't want peace. He wanted civil war. He wanted to win militarily. And of course, one of the ways you can win militarily when you have access to money. And Dr. Amos Sawyer put an end to that. That's what got people vexed. Because most people who insisted that we had to go through XYZ before we could print money, they were looking for a way to delay for Prince Johnson to steal more money and finance his soldiers to create Harvard in Monrovia and create chaos and use his military and the money and take power militarily, which was going to make sure to destroy Liberia. We didn't want that. Right. So we printed money. Now you can chaos the code. We have no problem with that.
No, we're not carrying the code. But these are answers you gave the people when you on the campaign trail.
But anyway, that's the answer I'm giving to them. If they wanted for Prince Johnson to collect money from
let's get to the next. Let's get to the next something.
We were not prepared for that.
2007
to stop him from using the money and finance his war. We were not. We did it. We closed the bank. We destroyed the process he was using to collect money to steal more.
That was a good. It was good. It was good. Okay.
No,
you got a new. No. He had most of the money, but my thing is saying that a lot of librarians never knew about it. That Dr. and Baron Ta signed the money and he was never confirmed. But that is history now. It's history. It's history. But I just want to tell you that he's a progressive.
You do not have the luxury.
He's a progressive and he did it on his own, which is good. Almost people will say, well, you're president, interim president, and you just do your own thing, but he's not alive now. So let's go to the next one. 2017 ago, you got a new standard bearer right now. Tiawan Gonglo, who I like. I know him. I know his wife. He's a good man, honest guy. He is now the standard bearer of your party. When Teron became member of LPP,
he's a founding member of LPP.
Founding member of LPP. Good. No. Good. I'm reading it. Oh, he's a progressive.
You better than that. That your friend, you don't know that he was a
Listen to me. Listen. They say if you take our time to kill our ants, you will see what's in the stomach. Right. I ask you a question. When I know Teron is a founding member of Liberian People Party.
And that's LPP.
LPP. Mm-hmm. Okay. 2005, he supported Ellen Johnson.
Yes.
LPP was in our same election. 2011, he supported Ellen Johnson.
No,
again.
LPP had a coalition. We'll call it ADP.
But they all supported Ellen Johnson. 2017, there were 22 candidates. LPP was in our election again. Tiawan never supported LPP. But today, One now is the standard bearer. He been a founding member. He suspended his membership, or why he never suspended, he never support his own party. Why? All the time they were into the election, he never supported them. He went to any party. He went to UP.
I know about 2005, and I'm sure
Yeah.
a lot of members of LPP initially supported LPP. When LPP did not make it in the first round, they went and supported Ellie. In the case of 2017, I'm aware that he went to the counter convention. He went there. Now, whether later on
He supported Boaka.
like
He
a
supported
Burma
Boaka.
formula or not, that's a question.
He supported Boaka. He made it clear. He supported Boaka. The 2017.
I'm saying to you, people supported individuals. It's not a crime by any one of us in any party, and at some point you want to vote
good.
for another candidate. I think we
your former.
You should allow that to take place. We can't say just because you're a member of our party, you support all policies. I think to do that, that's not democratic principles will be
your
followed.
Former chairman, your former chairman, and who you just took over from, he contested in Lofa County. He never ran on LPP. He went as an independent candidate, and also CDC endorsed him while he was in that race. But he was the chairman of LPP. Why he never ran on his party ticket?
Well, that's a question for him and not a question for me. But let me tell you something. For us, LPP, we are happy when we see our members supporting other people. Because for us, we say it does not have to be LPP before we deliver the services and the goods we want for the people. Even in 1984, when LPP was banned, you saw our partisans supporting different candidates. In 1997, you saw the same thing, our partisans. You see, LPP is not the kind of party that insists that it has to be its will or nothing else. We don't believe in that. We usually see the bigger picture, that is to serve the Liberian people. If we find it okay to work for somebody or to work with different parties in order to move the agenda forward, we do that. We do that. For example, one of the articles we put up right after the convention or before the convention, we said that LPP believes in supporting or discussing policies rather than personalities. And in fact, some people advised us it was not the idea to do, because by doing so, you'll be leaking out good information. We don't worry over that. If today people take our information and use it and help Liberia, that's good for us, because for us, we do not want to wait to bring benefit to the Liberian people only when we are in power. So we don't care, we don't worry too much about serving other people. It doesn't bother us. Jala did well.
Let's get to the next. You got a whole day. I hope you're not sleeping, because we on it. Okay. 2017 election, we had 22 political parties, and George Weah ended up winning in the second round. George Weah came finally with 3 parties, and then Prince Johnson ended up joining him to make it 4. And Unity Party was Unity Party, Action Party, and LUP and Loop. That the 3 parties together. Now, this coming election, everybody is saying that it's not an easy thing for one party to go on its own. Is the LPP coming with collaboration, or they are open to collaboration, or what are they doing? Because I'm looking at the time. You guys just finished with your convention. Election is next year. And we all know the voters of 2017 are not the same now. Is the Liberty Party open to a collaboration, or are they going on their own?
That's a good question. And that question has been answered over and over. For us, where we are now, and we've been contacting political parties, let us discuss the issues first. Before you marry a beautiful lady, you should know her. Before you marry a beautiful man, you should know him. We are saying, let us discuss issues. We got the issues of biometric election. We got the issue of census. We got the issue of the election commissioner that is under investigation. Can we address those issues? We got the issue of, for example, look, today there's a shortage of rice in Liberia. It has moved from from $13 is going to $25. What should the parties be doing? For us in LPP, instead of talking about dividing positions and having another collaboration of political parties or having a government, interim government, let us sit down and say, how do we make sure from now on we're not going to allow profiteers, people who just want to make money, to use rice shortage or importation in order to create another chaos in Monrovia? We are suggesting, and we wrote articles on that, that look, from today's on, let us begin to do some of the good things the Ghanaians, the Nigerians, the Salinas are doing. Let us eat what we grow. And we don't have to go too far. We don't have to fight WFP in terms of the rice or the rice importer. Let us just shift and say, can we introduce cassava, yam, potato, banana to the population, especially in places like Bomi, Lofakante, Bonkante, Cape Mount, and Bapulu, where the citizens there don't eat too much cassava, yam, potato as regular food? If we did that, what will happen? We believe, and we think there are evidence to that because the president of Uganda spoke about that as well, that people will begin to shift and eat more cassava. If they did that, the pressure to bring rice into the country will reduce. And as a result, you're not going to have the kind of dramatic increase in the price of rice as we see it today. That's what we're saying. Can the different parties sit with us to begin to look at, for example, revenue? You just look at food, but look at revenue. All the revenue area, the only thing we're taxing the citizen more and more, more and more. Today, if you go marry, they will ask you, are you a single person? You say, yeah. They say, well, first you gotta have a certificate in order to know you're single. You pay money for that. You go for help, you pay money. You go for birthday, you pay money. You go for birth certificate, you pay money. Everything in Liberia is requiring some money to be paid from the poor taxpayer. Can the political parties look at that and see, well, as they should look, in order to generate money, that we don't have to be borrowing money every day and night with all the
Okay,
resources we
let's
got?
go back to the question that I asked you.
But that's the question. I'm saying to
No,
you,
you
I'm
I
saying to
asked.
you, we want collaboration. We
Okay,
want
let's wait.
collaboration,
Let
but let
wait
us begin to work
wait.
together on minor issues and see
Okay,
whether we can understand each other.
next year is the elections in Liberia. You just coming in. For the last 5 years, nobody heard anything about LPP. LPP was mute. They said nothing with all the hardship in Liberia going on. And now LPP just surfaced 2 weeks ago. Although Tiawan was running around, but you just finished your convention, so that's when we get to know. So what time you waiting for? So my question: are you open to collaborate with other oppositions to remove
But I
George
just
Weah,
said,
or you
it's
going
not
on
the
your own?
time. That's all. It's not that we're not open, but we're saying to
Next year is
you,
election. If you can't do it
we're
this year, how
saying
will
to
you do it
you,
next year?
we're saying to you, I would love if you could bring one of these leaders of these political parties so we can discuss it. How do we collaborate? Should we just jump on and start dividing position like CPP did?
No,
And
they
we
don't
say,
need to divide. They're talking about getting your candidate over to them to go as a VP to them. And
excuse
what I
me,
heard it, and I saw in the newspaper, the UP people say Tier 1 was going to go with Ome Bwaka as the VP.
you see, people are, it's like when you're going to play a game, they say, I will beat you with 5-0, right? And that's what they're doing there. We are saying to you, let us prepare ourselves to know each other, then collaboration will become easier. But you want for
But
us to force now and say, yeah, we want to collaborate. Let me
no,
give you an example.
I want to know if you're open to it first. Are you open to it?
Why should we worry over that when you just give us the reality? You're telling us no one party can win. We are aware of that.
Okay.
Therefore, there will be a need for collaboration. We
I
are aware
asked
of
this
that.
question because people are saying that LPP do not go into collaboration. If they go into collaboration, they won't be the head. If they are not the head, they cannot be
But
part of L.
why we should not be the head? Tell me for God's sake. Are you telling me?
So
Are you telling me? Are you telling me? Tier one Congo with a different view, the party with different view. Should we be the vice president to Alexander Comey, who is surrounded by Musa Belete, Dr. McIntosh, Honorable Louis Brown. That's the group of people you want to put.
I never call Ellis Cummings. No.
And they won't can answer anything. Is that what you're asking for?
I'm not calling. If you want to call names,
I can. Because
no, okay, listen.
If you don't call
listen.
it's not gonna look good.
Listen.
Those are the issues. No. Listen.
Let me finish. No, wait.
No.
We're not having it.
No, let me say to you.
Answer the question.
Answering the question. It will be
answer the question.
When we begin to discuss the issues, they will know where we stand.
Okay. Answer the question. Because every political parties in Liberia have old members who got some tainted records. In your party, I'm not here to tell you who is who.
But you don't have that. You don't. Don't even try.
I have it. No, I have it.
You don't have it. You have it.
No, because the debate is not between you and myself. But I'm only asking you a question.
You represent the
I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you a question. For the last 5 years, your party has been mute, and they were not speaking, and they just pop up and they want to take over.
Let me give you the roadmap.
Go ahead.
Let me give you the roadmap. We are saying as LPP. Listen to me.
It's because of the age.
Political party. The way to go to the collaboration is for us to sit down and see whether we agree on issues. For example, are we going to have people in one party who insist that we should allow foreigners to dig our gold, our diamond? Then we say no. Can we allow the rural villagers to get involved in digging the gold and digging the diamond and benefit so that their children can be on a gold mine, can be in a gold field? I want to visit town. Tears came down my eyes because the children are not going to school. They are in a logging camp, in a gold mine. And as a result, they don't respect their parents. They don't respect the churches. They don't respect the mosques. They don't respect the traditional institutions. Is that what you want? We are saying, if anybody wants for us to go to collaboration, let us sit down and discuss, and I will discuss. You'll see people who are not comfortable with us will leave, and then we'll have the real people to collaborate with. But
you've been out for too long. That's what we're saying. People are saying that LPP been out. They don't talk. They have not been speaking for Liberian people since individual. Tier 1 Congo is your individual.
Which other party is speaking? We are speaking. Which other party is speaking?
You just came back to life. You just came out. Election is next year.
But Darren Dillon was not speaking for 10 years before he became senator.
No, but Darren Dillon from a political party, LPP and Liberty Party. I'm sorry. Liberty Party. Relax. Liberty Party.
It was because of the view.
Okay, but why LPP been sitting back without speaking? Every time when election is over, they leave, and then they come back election time.
Which other political party has consistently been speaking after
right election? Now, we got only four. We got CDC
has been talking after election.
We got CDC stay alive. We got Liberty Party alive. We got ANC alive. But I'm telling you, people who speaking, ANC is speaking, Liberty Party is speaking, Unity Party, every day. Yeah.
Have they addressed the issue of corruption with
they're addressing the issue, they're discovering, they're finding the problems out.
Is Alexander Cummings willing to address Ellen Johnson Lee?
But he never worked with Ellen. In fact, why you work? No. Listen. He addressed them. That's why he's not part of them. That's why he joined the party. But my question to you, I want you to answer the question. Why Liberty? LPP? Why LPP always leave the scene after election? Why?
That's not true. Show me one political party that has consistently worked after election. Show me one.
The ones that are surviving today, they are still there.
Show me one newspaper. Alexander Cummings wrote an article describing the government after 2017. Give me one newspaper.
But how can you describe a government you work? No. Your standard bearer. I'm going to come back to your standard bearer.
I have no problem with that.
No. The standard bearer. Now let's get to the issue. Okay. The standard bearer. He worked for Ellen. He was a Solicitor General.
Yeah.
He was Solicitor General at the Justice Ministry. He never prosecuted nobody. They make him labor minister. When Ellen dismissed everybody and called him back, he never came back. He was mad about it, and he never showed up. He never came back. But what we saying that
the reason why?
No. The reason was that we saw in the newspaper. No. Because if Ellie want to fire, the corrupt people,
who were making
listen.
mistakes,
If Ellie want to fire, this is the thing. This the thing.
Rewarding people and punishing people, and that's
okay. That's what Ellie did, and he said he was not coming back.
Yeah.
No. Wait now. He said he was not coming back, but under the Ellie administration, he never prosecuted one corrupt person that we knew about. He never even spoke about it. He never came in the newspaper to challenge the president, because the justice minister or the solicitor general is the only people who can differ with the president, because they are the lawyers. But he never did it until he resigned. That's when we get to know all these things that he said. He also worked with labor ministry, where today Steve Bannon are still making $5-10, but he was a minister. Yes, he's an honest man. He cut his salary, he cut his gas, everything. Yes, he was a poor man lawyer. He's an advocate. But what he did in labor ministry that changed the lives of the workers under Ellen Johnson? They will ask you that question.
That is very boastful about. Do
Okay.
you see all the tellers in the different supermarkets?
Yeah.
Do you see all those ladies who work in the supermarket?
Yeah.
Before you saw them there, it is Tiawon Gonglu at the time when he was at labor who insisted that they should address the issue. And how did he address it? He didn't drive them out. All he did, he increased the immigration price for any foreigner to work. And because of that, the Lebanese people, the business people looking for money, they refused to bring in people and pay more money to the government. That's when they started hiring poor Liberian workers. So today you go in all the supermarkets, all the tellers that you see there, these are all people who got employed because Tiawon Gonglo insisted that if Lebanese people or business people wanted to bring their people from foreign countries, they should pay a higher price. And that
Mr. Chairman, the work permit fee in Liberia at the time was $450.
And how many
Only they live. Wait. Today is $1,100. According to the handbook that created the Ministry of Labor, only the minister has the right to increase or decrease, which is true. But there were no Lebanese teller. They had the same Liberian teller. But under the early administration, where Tier 1, when they talk about the liberalization policy, under the early government, we still saw Lebanese people selling water. We still saw Lebanese people selling gas. We still see Lebanese people selling things that they're not supposed to sell. They're supposed to be given to Nigerians. So they don't talk about that. If you come,
wait. Let's go to the record. Who is responsible for monitoring the liberalization policy that calls for businesses below 50,000 should be
Ministry of Labor
operated by Liberians? The Ministry of Labor is supposed to do that, or the business community, the investment commission should approve or
Ministry of Labor has the right to look to know. Yes,
I work in that area. I'm telling you, it is the investment commission that can approve, or the commerce ministry can approve a business that falls below 50,000 or above 50,000. It's not labor ministry.
Who send people out to check? Who send people out to check? The inspectors, to get some statistics.
No.
The first thing,
has nothing to do
no.
with
Labor ministry will not issue. Labor ministry is not supposed. Labor ministry not supposed to issue.
The labor ministry, listen. The labor ministry has nothing to do with.
Okay, wait now. The labor ministry do not issue you permit if they got a Liberian accountant who is qualified and they bring a Lebanese man. The Ministry of Labor will say, nope, we're not going to give your guy a work permit because they got qualified Liberians in here to work. That's the labor ministry responsibility for that.
The work permit is quite different from selling gas.
Okay, but if you don't give them, if you don't give them work permit, they will not work. You give them work permit. When registering a business, they never told you I'm going to take one Lebanese man to sell gas. They're not telling you. They take that business and they register it. But then when they go to get the work permit, the job the man calling for, the man owed the accountant. But when there's no accountant, like, bro, you brought accountant from Lebanon or from America. No, we can't give him work permit. That is it. That's why Labor came here and said, no, we can't issue work permit. They did it to the RTC vice president when Mr. Akwe was promoted.
So now, okay, I'm saying to you, let's define the discussion, the issue. The issue work permit is different from the issue of a business registering. That's what I'm trying to say. When you register a business doing gas stations,
they will register you.
50,000. The Labor Ministry does not have a principal role in that. It is the Investment Commission, Commerce Ministry, the Finance Ministry. They are the one responsible for that, not Labor Ministry.
Wait now. Let me explain to you again. Let me tell you again.
Okay.
I register my business. I go to Finance Ministry.
Right.
If I go to register my gas station, if I put one Liberian man over my gas station and say the man who owns the gas station, his name is Joseph Too, but the real owner name is Nabi. Ministry of Finance register my business. I go to Commerce. I go everywhere. Then I'm operating. The Lebanese man who own that business, he need work permit. If they apply to Labor Ministry and they say this gas station, we got an accountant who need a work permit. When they look at him, we say, but no. Labor Ministry can refuse him. Say, no, we cannot give you work permit because they got qualified Liberians here. You check around to see there's no accountant yet. They're not worried about the proprietor of their business. But all the other people they bring, what I'm trying to tell you, Lebanese people bring their children, their brother in the country and sell behind these stores. But we make sure that Labor Ministry make sure that they get Liberians doing this job. We're not going to give you work permit just to sell one day bread down water side or sell cold water. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But you can open your business. By right, Labor can stop you from opening that finance, which is true. But what I'm saying that Tier 1 was the Minister of Labor. Today, people are still making $5, $10 steel bender. $20, that's what they're making to go bend steel in that factory. How they increase it? Forget about the teller, because I was in Liberia, the teller was Liberian. Or in all the supermarket were also women. Now, were not Lebanese people were the teller. I used to work in Below Ministry. That's why I asked you myself. I used to work, I was Inspector General. But anyway, so these are some of the questions. So if you tell me about Tier 1, he's an honest guy for himself.
I didn't work there, but I'm thinking.
I don't know his leadership skill. Liberia looking for leaders. Every one of them qualified to run for president. Every one of them qualified under the Constitution. We're not talking about qualification. Every one of them has a special thing.
But what did he do when he was president of the Bar Association? Hello?
Well, the Bar Association, we don't see. No. They hire other people. That's an elected post. The Bar Association, and the lawyers voted for him. The lawyers voted for him. Yeah, so I don't know his leadership skill. Like just a little organization he was controlling.
Yeah.
They hired other people before him. But what I'm trying to tell you, I don't know his leadership skill. His leadership skill is that we're talking about. So if you tell me that he is not the most qualified guy.
Compare his record as president of the Bar Association. Hold it. You brought on an issue. You say president of the Bar Association. We talk about leadership. Now, what they put work, everywhere you go as a leader, put work on you. So whether
the Bar Association is just like an organization. The Bar Association is just like a regular organization. How you take it? It's nothing big. All lawyers, the lawyers then put together. The same way they get carpentry union and whatsoever.
Hold it. When you are church leader, you don't perform. We now hold that against you.
But who should the lawyer he suspended under his administration?
Excuse me.
He suspended any bad lawyers when he was
looking for money. The question
is, but you said he's a leader. You said his leadership in there.
Money he left in that account?
Nah, it's not about how. I just told you. I said Tier 1 as an individual is an honest man.
No,
he's an honest man. Tier 1 will not go after money that belongs to him.
We're not talking about stealing money. We're talking about he managed the affairs so well that he left a lot of money there.
With all the corrupt lawyers, so where was Tier 1 Gongo when they register the Nigerian lawyer who were part of the Bar Association in Liberia?
Did he fight? Was he there
No,
when
that
they
they said it. That they
But he
said that they
fought-
said it
he
pushing.
fought and got rid of him.
No, why they register him first? Why he was a member of the bar?
But Tiawan was not the one when they registered. He didn't register to Tiawan administration.
The man
They
been a
not.
member of the bar long time. When he say something long time?
But Tiawan,
The man been a member of the bar.
Tiawan is going to know the status of each lawyer. Then he doesn't have what to do.
Okay.
He doesn't.
Look,
You can. You will not know when the issue come out. When the
let's
issue
go
come out,
back.
the man
Now.
not qualified. He's too strong. He's too strong. And
So,
use the principle and the law. So commend him for that.
No, why I can't just individual thing. I can't comment because we put pressure on them to remove the guy. We put pressure on them.
Oh, you put pressure. Tiawan didn't put pressure.
We put pressure on them. I don't think Tiawan was the president of the bar
And Tiawan did
association.
not put pressure. Hey,
No,
man, give credit to the brother.
Tiawan was the
Not because
president
he
of the
was
bar
Canada,
association.
but he
No,
performed. He worked.
I said
On our
Tiawan
particular-
as an individual, he's an honest guy that you can do business with. That you can do it. So LPP, what people are saying here that LPP acting like UP entitlement. We started the whole thing
No. We're not entitled.
from 1980.
It is
So,
work out.
we
Like
are the
somebody who
one-
deserve
We
some
are the one
special
prepared,
privilege. It is
must
work out
lead
with acting
any
like Hillary
organization.
Clinton. Don't even try that. We are working. Tiawan is in the villages talking to people every day in the street with a broom monkey. You can't say he acting as if he's entitled to something. He's not.
But why-
He's an underdog.
Why? Well, everybody honor dog in this election. George Weah is the one at the top, a unity party honor name.
Well,
But-
okay, but at least and you just said Buckeye is up there, right?
No, the UP, and the ruling party and the former ruling party, they are the one. We are in the middle.
And that's why they put rejecting them.
We are in the middle. It's not an easy thing. I bring this particular one on to sell it because of the group in Liberia. They look at us different way. They look at people. People are saying that LPP is new, the young children. Now, the
That's true.
27,
We're not-
the
we're not-
1997.
That's why we're making an effort to go all out there.
Okay,
And that's why
but
we are saying to people, let's look at the issue.
if
You see,
this
instead of
coming
looking at
election-
issues, you talk about collaboration.
no. We all look at the issues. That the
No,
issue the
we
people don't want to.
didn't
Yeah,
break down
we
the
no.
issue. Let's go to
No,
the issue.
we look at the issue, but at the same time, it's like you just said something. You building a house. You know that you want get 4 children. You get a wife. You marry, yeah, you get money. But you go build 1-bedroom house. When you build 1-bedroom house, then you get 4 children. Now we are saying that we look at the family before we get the house. We're telling you, George Weah is in a collaboration. Other people in a collaboration. The other people forming a collaboration, it never worked. So people are saying, well, LPP won't come and steal the show. But we know that one party, the way Liberia looking right now, nobody can get 50+1 easily. Now you could not be maybe you open to collaboration now. But the second round, if we go into the second round because we want to remove George Weah, you want to remove him, I want to remove him.
Again, hold it.
So I want to know if you open to all these things. Suppose you go support George Weah tomorrow.
Hold it. We are not one of those parties that want to replace George Weah. We want to reform Liberia. That's what we want. If you
But
guys
then
don't want to replace
you and
George Weah,
you and
come out with
ANC
another
almost in the same.
government. No. You're not.
You and ANC almost the same idea because ANC
No,
is not saying that they just want to
ANC,
replace him.
What issue ANC and ANC?
Because Mr. Cummings do not just criticize President Weah on anything. He even tell him said, yes, this is good, fine.
Let me
this is the
ask you
mistake.
one
This
question, and you must post it to him because he's a former vice president of Coca-Cola, a very big company. How come the rent was very high in Monrovia when expatriates were here? Now most of them have gone. How come the rent is still going up? You want to post that question to him?
No, we can ask him a question, but you're not saying opposition don't run the government. You know that.
No. But what, can he talk about it?
But Mr. Cummings talk about jobs every day. Because if you're talking about no jobs, how do you pay?
Where is he? Good. Okay, let's
Who
deal with the
increased?
rent. I just raised that issue.
Who increased rent in Liberia? No. Who increasing the rent? The rent in Liberia is the Liberians who the Liberians who in America who build houses in Liberia. They are the one increasing the rent. I
No,
know
no.
people
But
here
what are the
who
policies
build the
that you
houses,
will? What are
and
the policies that you will introduce to make sure the rent is not that high? Why?
now
Can he tell
the
us
no. The
how?
policy, Mr. Cummings has an agenda on Facebook that you can know, that you can read. Mr. Cummings is the only one who going around the country that telling the Liberian people.
Okay.
Okay,
The
why
last
Mr.
time in
Cummings and Tiawan
2017
can
he
just go
said,
together? What?
wait, hold it,
Listen,
wait. In 2017 he said he was going to increase revenue from 500 to 1 billion, but he didn't tell us
yeah.
how. Is he
Oh
willing to
no.
explain it?
Wait. Then I will answer that one. I will
2017.
answer
I
that one.
listened to the
No.
debate.
He said it 2017, and he
Yeah.
repeated it. He said, if I'm president, my first 3 years, in an interview, my first 3 years, I will raise the Liberian revenue, the budget, to $1 billion. Everybody complain. Oh, how you gonna do it? You are expecting to explain on that show.
Why
He
not?
tell you, wait now,
But
wait.
he said it. Why he can't
Wait
come with it
now,
now?
wait.
2017.
He
Why
explained
he
it
can't come with the details?
first waste.
No, I don't have to wait. You see, that's
No,
why
I said
we can't
wait. I said
that's the reason
first
why
he will
we
stop
don't
the waste.
think he's
No.
sincere. He
No,
is not
wait now.
sincere. He can tell us
Wait
how
now.
you can raise the money.
Slow down. He
Yeah.
said this is how I would do it. The
How?
waste
They
in
didn't say how.
government. No. Waste in government. There are a lot of money
No,
that
they're not
government.
revenue. They're not
Oh,
revenue.
wait
They're not
now,
revenue. They're not revenue.
wait.
They're not revenue. We're
My
talking about
brother,
revenue, my
hey,
friend.
excuse me, your CPA. You yourself, your party never came out. How do we even increase the budget? How do they
I
create
can
job?
tell you.
No.
We're talking about that.
Excuse me. I'm not an
We're talking about
economist,
that.
but listen to me. When Mr. Cummings
I
said
will
it
tell you how. Listen to me.
today, how much
I
is
will
the
tell
budget?
you how. Listen to
No,
me.
but then you need to
You
put
want
it
to
on
listen to
paper
what
and tell no. You need to put it on paper and tell the Liberian people. But you do not even have an agenda out there. You're not telling the Liberian people what you're going to do. You have not explained anything to the Liberian people about LPP.
We are
No.
publishing paper on a daily basis explaining what we do.
Listen,
Let me explain to you. Don't say no. Let me give you a typical example.
Wait now. No.
No, you
I'm
want
not,
to listen how
if you
to
want
raise
me to,
revenue?
no, you're not going to explain to me how to raise revenue. Mr. Cummings, I have thousands of
Okay,
interviews. If you want that
explain it.
debate,
I want to help you. So you can tell
no.
to follow up.
You're not running against Cummings. If you're standard bearer, if the standard bearer of
But I'm a
Liberty
party
Party,
again.
wait. You don't expect Mr. Cummings to debate you in the first place because you're not in a race. You're not in a race.
Right.
You just a
But
chairman.
let me bring a chairman.
No, you just a chairman.
Okay. He can't debate me, but let me bring a chairman.
Wait. Your candidate.
Bring a chairman. Don't ask me where.
Listen, your candidate and my candidate will debate, and they will ask that issue.
It's not. No, not
my brother.
Presidential debate.
No presidential debate. But I'm not going to hear myself not debating on how you're going to raise your stuff. You are CPA. I got nothing about. I'm telling you, Mr. Cummings have had more interviews and how to raise revenue in Liberia. Because if LPP was out there, they were going to know the issue today. But because you're silent, every time after election, LPP gone.
What are the issues?
Every election, LPP have been LPP have been dead.
One argument to say this is how you
LPP has not been around. Every election they will come and go. So what guarantee? What guarantee you giving the Liberian people?
To come and bring the chairman of NANC to a debate.
What guarantee that you have for the Liberian people that you will not go again?
What?
What guarantee that you're not going to leave?
Leave where?
Because the first election, after every election you leave, you don't come back.
I'm not going to go into an argument, sir. I'm saying
no, that's the question people are going to ask you.
I'm saying to you, let me give you an example of how you can raise revenue. Maybe you don't know.
No. We're not talking about how to raise revenue. I never asked about raising revenue. The issue here is that, no, if we want to argue that I can bring you, I will bring you on with somebody how to. No, I would not tell you. I want you to tell me about LPP.
No, I want
these are the questions.
I don't want anybody else.
No, these are the questions the Liberian people are going to ask you. Because LPP
But that's the question.
disappear after every election. Why they disappear after every election?
But why worry about that when we say we got solutions to the problems? Why?
No, you don't have the solution. Now, what the people say, they say, but listen, every election from
But how can you say? I say I have. You say the people say.
But I'm telling you, I'm speaking. No. You gave the solution. No, I'm speaking as a voter.
When I get solution,
I want you to convince me because the people in Liberia, the people in Liberia, they said the voters. After every election, you guys leave.
I went to District 17. I went to District 15. I went to West Point. I went to Clarktown, West Point, District 13, District 14, District 16. I went to Bopolu. I went to Bomi. We are talking. So don't think we're not talking.
Nobody heard you. Tier 1 been talking, but nobody heard about.
The problem is the news media. If you don't pay money, they don't publish, and we not reach that comments.
Oh! Why you gotta do it? Why you gotta do it money?
But election are money.
Election are money.
But we know, but with the buy votes.
No, you don't have to buy a vote. Election is money. You pay for. Listen, you pay for transport. Okay, fine. You listen. I know your concern now.
That's why we don't want. We're not gonna buy
from your conversation. I understand your threat. I thought Mr. Cummings ought to be the least guy in the whole thing here. Nobody know him. But you concerned about Mr. Cummings. How can Mr. Cummings buy a vote? How you buy a vote? But you need money for transportation. You need money to pay. So what? If you don't have money, then why you won't get into politics? Because it's expensive.
Well, it should not be about money.
No, but how you think the voters, the people are going to go around the motorbike, you think are free? They're just going to make you.
They don't have money.
But that's the mistake. No. Darius did not never had money, but it was a collaboration. I gave it to him. Okay.
No,
but now you are not collaborating. You just said
it was the light in darkness.
Yeah.
No, sir.
You just said but you know that election is very expensive to go around in 15 counties, 73 districts.
I'm saying to you, yes, you want to make it expensive. You can make it expensive because you want to receive bribe. That's why you borrow money.
But how you will receive bribe? Who receiving bribe? If you talk about Mr. Cummings spending money, then what about the government you want to take? You want to remove because they got all the money. You said Mr. Cummings bribing. Then what about the government now? Then how you manage? Because you worry about Mr. Cummings bribing.
Look at the election in Lofa. Hold it. Look at the election in Lofa. They had all the money. They spent all the money. They even militants to intimidate the voters. Yet and still they could not win fairly. They had to cheat. To the extent they cheated that the numbers could not add up. And Buckeye himself, the former vice president himself, said that the numbers could not add up.
Why LPP? Why LPP never participated in that election?
But we're not ready to do that. We're not ready.
But then how you know they cheated? You never took part. You never took part in the election. Then you said the people cheated.
Why you going to issue and you talk about money?
Oh, money is important in election.
I'm telling you, money alone cannot win election. They use new notes in Lofa. The new notes that should have been in the market, that should have been in the streets, they will not.
I told you.
In the
you concerned about Cummings. You concerned about Cummings bribing. I say you got the government. No. You got the government who got the money.
This government is gone. This government is gone.
How you know the government? You think this election not an easy election?
The repetition is just terrible. The Liberian people cannot stand this government. They are tired of this government. So we are focusing.
But you still will have to campaign. You still will have to campaign. You still will have to campaign for them to get that message.
We're campaigning the right time when the time comes.
But you say you got money. How you go Sano? How you go Maryland? How you go to Grand G there? How you go all over the place? You say you got money.
But people are going there now. We moving around.
Free? The motorbike they're going there free?
There was a workshop in Banga. People from Grand G that came.
No, so they're doing it free.
That's what we're doing.
The poor got a family to feed. The man will drive the car, you're not paying.
Do you see our fleet of cars? Do you see our lot of cars? We don't. Do we have a reason?
Well, you the chairman, because when they make you chairman, you spend long time in America. They make you chairman. The people know what they depend on. You think so?
Well, but I don't have money. I'm sorry for that. This
No,
chairman is broke.
liberal politics and not American politics. You the chairman. Maybe you got
But
contact
I'm
somewhere.
saying to you, let me tell you to know that this chairman is broke.
No, they don't care. They look at your face. They see US down, so they post LPP coming back because everybody talking about you. They say now we got the right chairman. We got the right chairman.
Not
They say
true.
you. In fact, they say the chairman traveled to get some funds.
Well, the
So,
people are talking
get-
about it. Not rich people.
Get ready. No,
These
you
are
got
all
contact.
brothers and sisters.
My man, you
They
got
are
contact.
interested in Liberia. They do not
We
want
all-
it. That's why. Look, go to our financial report we publish. If you see it, you don't see one person that paid more money. No, we tax everybody the same. 1 or 2 person will come with something. That's what we do. With the masses. We don't want
My man,
one particular
That
person
masses, let's be honest, that masses thing can't work anymore easily.
No, you see.
The Liberian people, they fool the voters.
No,
Listen,
this
our
is the
politician, the politician fool the
mentality,
voters.
hold it. The mentality that everything is money, we have to change that. With the mentality that government properties that everything here they can't finish, we got to change that. The mentality that when you steal from government, you okay, we got to change that. The mentality that when you don't steal from government, you stupid, we got to change that. These are the things we want to change. If we don't change those things, we're going nowhere. In Asia, when an official steals, he killed himself sometimes to do that because they believe they brought him to the family.
Okay.
Do Liberian people do that?
This
No.
is the thing.
When Liberian people steal, we
Mr. Comey say, Mr. Comey say,
laugh at them. That's what
Mr. Comey say we will prosecute.
That's what we're talking about. When
Mr. Comey say,
integrity, that's what you're talking
I will
about.
fight corruption. Tiawan say I will fight corruption. Mr. Comey say we will prosecute you, we will jail you, we will seize your property. Tiawan say we will prosecute you, we will jail you, and we will seize your property. We will stop it, not to minimize it, but we will stop it.
Too many friends. Mr. Comey got too many friends that you will do that.
But Tiawan got too many friends too the same way. Excuse me. Tiawan got too
rich friends.
Look at
the people who are marching to him today.
So which are the rich friends?
Musa Belete. Musa
So
Belete is a
you got any proof? Do you have any proof of Musa Belete? No, do you have? Do you have any proof on Musa Belete that you want to accuse him of something?
Oh, that proof you're looking for. I see. Okay, Musa Belete. The name Musa Belete. All around Liberia, Musa Belete name is not good.
No, because maybe because he's a businessman. He's a businessman, maybe. So why Tiawan work in the early administration? No. Why Tiawan work? Do you know what we look at? Even you can get 10,000 corrupt people going. Wait. You can get
Musa Belete advisor to ANC, and you tell him I want to go be vice president for what? Musa Belete advisor to ANC.
So why Tiawan work in the early government? Why Tiawan work in the early government? Why you working in the early government? Why?
Is that what you want, Musa Belete, or you talk about Benina Ure advisor?
So excuse me,
vice president.
Excuse me.
Wait.
They look at the head. The head.
He's the vice president to Boycott. He's the one.
When the head is corrupt,
that's the person that wants to be vice president.
Excuse me. When the head is corrupt, that is the problem. When the head is not corrupt, then you got a leadership. People know that Tiawan is not corrupt. So if any corrupt person come and say I'm supporting Tiawan, you will refuse. If anybody come up and say they're supporting Tiawan, you will refuse it. When you think they're corrupt, you will refuse it.
But wait now, if you eat corrupt money, are you corrupt or you not?
No. Tiawan Gonglo.
Wait, no, I'm asking you.
For example,
if corrupt man come to you and give you money, what do you think he's doing it for?
But who gave Mr. Cummings? So you trying to tell me that the corrupt people giving Mr. Cummings money now? But Mr. Cummings is not corrupt. Mr. Cummings is not corrupt.
Musa Belete is there.
But Mr. Cummings is not corrupt.
Musa Belete there.
So you tell me Mr. Cummings is corrupt?
Huh?
Mr. Cummings is corrupt?
Musa Belete.
No. Are you telling me? Wait. Are you telling me that Mr. Cummings is corrupt? I want you to put yourself on record, Mr. Cummings.
You said you read a report from FIFA.
FIFA do not go to court. I read a report from FIFA. FIFA ruling. FIFA ruling is
It's
not
clean. It's clean.
accepted. No, wait. FIFA ruling is not
It's
accepted
clean.
in any competent court of jurisdiction.
Oh,
FIFA has their own
competent
code.
court. You see that the Liberian lawyers they
FIFA
use
judge themselves. I'm a
competent
football
court.
man. FIFA
That the kind of
don't
lawyer,
go to
you
court.
know, you see,
FIFA do not go to court. But tell me, but listen, FIFA don't go to court. FIFA can judge their own case.
By Cummings, right?
So, FIFA judge. Are you telling me that Mr. Cummings is corrupt?
FIFA rule not accepted by Cummings. Okay, now we know.
They're not accepted nowhere.
FIFA
Nowhere.
rule not accepted by Cummings.
So, excuse me.
Wow.
They're progressive. They're progressive. Listen. That's not you, Mr. Chairman. You got a lot of work to do. Lot of work. I ask you a simple question.
But that's true. That's what we do. No,
Is Mr. Cummings corrupt? Is
Mr.
Mr. Cummings corrupt?
Hold it. It's all the parties that you got. Walker is clean, but he got Bernard Yulo controlling him. Cummings is rich, but he got Musa Belete controlling him. We are finished because all the sanctions were just driving away. So we don't have to worry. We'll win an election.
Who gonna win election? LPP.
Oh yeah.
That's
Look at the opposition. Look at the opposition. Walker is good, but he has Bernard Yulo controlling him.
Okay, now. Now, this is the thing. It's the same progressive who people believe. The same progressive, the progressive who caused this problem for us today.
There you go.
Forget about the multi-party that they started. The progressive had everything when President Doe came to power. The progressive was around too. You know that, eh? Doe gave them position. Bako Matthew, you were around.
Yeah.
And Sam Jackson, everyone of y'all.
Yeah.
But today now they're coming back because they feel that the opposition were putting a coalition together and it worked. But the progressive believe that they are entitled to president in that country. Because you broke down the first coalition in 1997. 1997 when you went to the All Liberia Conference. Listen to me. 1997 when you went to the All Liberia Conference, 1997. When Watterson won that election, LPP pulled out, UPP pulled out. You're left clear to Watterson alone because you believe that you're the only politician, you're entitled.
Listen, you see, get your facts correct. Alaure Toba was the vice presidential candidate to
LPP ran 1997. LPP ran with Tipote 1997. Some of you guys, no. Some of you guys refused. Some decided to stay. Some decided to stay. Some decided LPP went on their own. LPP went on their own. LPP went on their own. They pulled out. Tipote pulled out. In fact, Bako Matthew were the first. Bako Matthew were the first that pulled out. Tipote followed. Because Clayton Watterson won that convention.
But what
you refuse to stand with it. You refuse to stand with the coalition. You refuse to stand with the coalition. Now you're telling me today again. No, you're telling me today now that
I'm saying to you, the leadership did that.
The LPP are the ones supposed to.
And some members supported Ellington to leave. So
but LPP were on their own. LPP was on their own. Antipote contested that election.
What's the next topic?
No, you know how to see that the progressive we on now. You got to convince me because how you going to convince the people back home?
Progressive people believe if they believe in something, if today they can support their party and they want to support another party, we do not punish them for that. That's progressive people.
But there's the thing, Liberians looking for leaders that will stand with them. For the last 5 years, for the last 5 years.
Oh, because we didn't win election?
No, for the last 5 years, Tiawon Gonglo have not been speaking. For the last 5 years, Tiawon Gonglo have not been speaking until last year.
He has not been speaking.
Yeah. He never said anything against George Weah government. He never said anything about when the government was doing all kinds of things. It's just recently.
Listen to me. We came to the conclusion that we had to give a honeymoon month to George Weah. And before we could look, he already destroyed himself. And even the younger people, the old people that we should be teaching, they already George Weah destroyed himself. There will no need to talk.
But I don't think Liberians ready for the
before you could even open your eyes.
LPP.
Every month he built 49 houses, 49 complexes.
We know that. We know that.
So
why you never said how long?
You waste your time discussing
how
that?
long
Why?
it would take
Does
you
it make sense?
to speak for the Liberian people? How long is supposed to take
No,
you?
but I'm saying to the Liberian people saw it. It was nothing hidden. In fact,
Yeah, but how long? So how long it take you?
And see. What?
There's the thing. I want you to go back again. 2005, LPP were in the election. After the election, they disappeared. They came back 2011, they disappeared again. 2017, after 2017, they disappeared. They're coming back again, election are next year. So you think Liberia going to trust you that every time after the election you go, you everybody leave and travel?
But they will be listening to the messages, my friend.
What
the
message?
that Alexander Cummings of Burkhardt do not want to discuss.
The other people going far off. The people looking at the people who sitting with them.
No, but we will tell the people we are agents for change.
How you be agent for change? How can you be agent for change? You were already there. It's just a new or old wine in a new bottle or what? Because they say LPP with the name, with the same people who the progressive was around and they spread out and yet still
then new battle and we got messages, new messages. You see, you don't want to go through the messages because you don't want for LPP to look good. You go back to the issue that we're participating and we're not participating. That
no. Before you give the message,
But I'm saying to you, let's go into the issues. You don't want to do that.
Before, okay, can you tell me what Tiawa will do different than all the other candidates?
We say there's corruption. The first thing he will do, the 100 days he will do to make sure that everybody declare their assets and publish it. Okay, the one thing.
Okay.
Two, anybody found corruption, you will dismiss you immediately. No policeman will be allowed to interfere. No minister will be allowed to interfere into the affairs of operation. Every 3 months, each minister, each official, you will declare a report showing what you have earned so far in government. Okay, those are things we'll do to make sure that there will be reports by each ministry published. Will not allow government officials not to publish their reports as people are doing now. LEC not publishing, NASCOP not publishing. We do know, for example, in NASCOP, what happened to the people pension fund money? Whether the government is using it to finance themselves, we don't know. We will insist on those issues. That's fighting corruption. But let's go to the issue of, for me.
So how you say you're gonna fight corruption again? You know, I want you to corruption is very important. You said that's how you fight corruption. That publishing your asset every 3 months.
Every 3 months, you publish your asset. Every 3 months. Anytime anybody is reported of corruption, whether you right or wrong, you'll be suspended. We will not allow you to be hanging around.
Do you have all the things written down on piece of paper for us to see it?
I'm telling you, but let's go to the debate. Then we can.
Do you have this thing you're telling me now that when we finish or while we're talking, it's on? Where can I find it?
He came out with proposal.
I want get on it to see on tier 1 page what if all this thing you're saying is on it right now.
I don't have the WhatsApp address to read it to you. If you want,
I got something I can put it out. I won't know.
But that one thing that I don't remember to read it to you.
Okay, so everything you're telling me is just a verbal. It's verbal. No.
Let's go to food, which is important.
Wait now, wait. Before we no. Don't rush. You're not paying on it. You're not paying on this show. Relax. No, relax. We still got time here. You in America. My viewers can come on at this time. But listen to me. You say corruption, they're going to fight corruption. I said it's written down. Is that a thing that already you put it down or you just talking? So I want to get on that page and look at it.
One has a 10-point proposal and he deals with corruption. It's there.
It's on his site, on
He
his
has
page.
published that. In fact,
It's not even on his page because
you
it's
don't
not
go
on
far.
not.
Go to Tim Gonglu. Go to Tim Gonglu. You see it. They got recommendations. They got 10-point proposal. What they want to do. They got it there.
Go ahead and talk. So the first thing.
Okay.
Now, if you
let's
talk about fighting corruption, you talk about fighting corruption. Something in there I even hear it. That's a song that all Liberian politicians sing. You will declare your asset, you will do this, but none of you are saying no.
Every 3 months.
None of you guys are saying what you will put in place to stop corruption. You explain to me. But Alex Cummings explained it. What we will put in place is like if you leave the door open, you wouldn't want to arrest the people. You close the door, you fix the door. But you explain it to me now. You said nothing. I was so let go tell the next one again. After corruption, what else again you say you do?
Let's deal with food because we can't waste our time. Food is very important. We are saying it looks like the rice importer will continue to use food as a weapon. We need to reduce that privilege they have. And one way we can do it is to begin to insist that let's eat what we grow. Let's start importing food. And we will begin to do that. And one way to do it, let's take all the counties that don't eat cassava, yam, fufu, potato regularly. I'm not saying they don't eat it. If we encourage them to eat that, and the way we can encourage them, attitude is contagious. Let's take all the vulnerable population, the students, the patients in the hospital, the prison inmates, all right? And we feed them with yam, potato, cassava in the morning. When they get used to eating that attitude will be, of course, it will become contagious that people in people in Bong, Lofa, Mangibi, Kebon, and Bombing will begin to eat a lot of those items. As a result, there will be less pressure on rice. Once you do that, what do? In fact, the government can say, look, we are going to make sure to buy the food from the farmers in Feasible Town and give it to the students in Feasible. So a man who producing cassava, yam, banana will not have to waste time to transport his goods to Monrovia or to Kakata or to Banga. The government will buy it right there and it will be consumed right there. Once you do that, you create employment. And when you create employment, you will reduce the migration to Monrovia. Okay? That's one way. That attitude, you will make sure they form a cooperative, not individual. That attitude, that knowledge, that experiment can be transferred to what? To the Damo area. They will form cooperatives. They dig their own Damo, their own gold. Government can help, in fact, to lend them money to buy the machinery. Okay? They will dig the gold in the Damo. Once they begin to dig their own gold and Damo, you will see, you will not have foreigners coming to Liberia digging the gold in the Damo. You do that, the rural communities will have their own money. You increase revenue because right now, the borrowers are porous. If you allow the individuals who are digging diamond and the gold today, they do not report the correct amount to the finance ministry or to the authorities. You can end that by encouraging the rural villagers, residents, to have form cooperatives and dig their own diamond and their own gold. If you do that, you reduce the corruption. You know, corruption, one of the things we have to look at is people who corrupt, people who offer bribe, usually are people who got money. If you reduce people who got money, then of course you reduce corruption right there. All the people who are making diamond, who are involved in the diamond deal, the gold deal, they are the ones who are usually bribing people. You reduce that, you reduce importation. So, and that's another way of reducing corruption, because why? You would take the lucrative assets from foreigners who have made excess profit and give it to the rural communities. They will not pollute the area. They will not employ children. They will not misuse the resources that are there. They will pay the correct taxes because they know very well they are getting money. And when they pay the correct taxes, you will see that money will come back to them. It will not be the foreigners who don't care for the country, who don't care for the community. They will pay less taxes. They will pollute the area. They will pay cheap labor. They will employ the literature who are disobeying in the communities. That's one way you can reduce corruption or increase revenue and create employment. Just because the organized cooperatives in the villages, you will do that. Okay.
That's so all that a long-term program you're talking about here.
No, you can start today. You don't have to wonder.
Because with the country, with the way the country looking right now, all these things you explain, what they can eat, what they can't eat, they got to grow they want. So that what? So what is short term now? What you going to do for these people when you take over? Before you even start investing into agriculture, investing into all these things that you're
Eh?
explaining.
I'm saying to you right now, people are growing cassava. They sell yam, they sell banana. What the government needs to do now, instead of encouraging people to bring it to Monrovia, the government can buy it now and feed the students. Now, you can do that. You begin to do that because the students go to school hungry. They have nothing in the stomach. If you feed the students, you will see they will be disciplined, they'll be obedient, they'll have control, there will be no migration. You not have a lot of young children running the streets after hours because why? They have something in the stomach, they will be compelled to listen to their parents. You don't have to wait until you start growing. You can begin to buy now, and you begin to buy, you see, we're importing pepper anyway. So import the cassava and the yam to feed your students. We can do that. So you don't have to wait for the 6 months what I would take the cassava to grow or the banana to grow. That's what we're talking about. So you can begin that now. So you see, if you do that, that experience, that experiment can be transferred into a gold area, into the diamond area. Look at the trees. We are felling our trees and we're shifting the logs as they are. When we don't have chairs in the schoolhouses, we don't have tables, we don't have blackboards. For what? Why can we use our trees to make sure we got chairs for the students to sit on, to have tables that they can write on, to make beds for people to sleep on, to make office chairs? Can we do that? We can do that.
But
But most of the officials,
the progressive been around long time. You still giving the same things that they said before. We heard these things. These are old stories. They've been doing the same old thing. They say it every time when election is coming on. Dr. Thibodeau will speak and go. Dr. Fambuler, when he was contesting, when Charles were contesting too, he went to Bon County. He was all over explaining the same thing, the fine thing. But the same thing, you guys would leave after the election and then come back
that
one six
we
months
we
or
okay.
1 year to election. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
The time is
No,
too
I'm
short.
saying to no, hold it, hold it. I'm saying to you, I'm saying to you, we never had the time to implement any of these policies. In fact, the people who want to profit from the diamond and the gold told people that government officials are corrupt. Government should not get involved. Government is inefficient. But that's not true. We see government efficient in some places. If we work very hard, we can make it. It's possible. So these things are possible. But you have to have the right people. If you have people who friends are in the gold business, diamond business, they'll say, oh no, government should not get involved because government is inefficient. We already saying, in fact, the former president, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, was very effective in saying so, that government was corrupt, government inefficient. But who introduced corruption after the Civil War? It was the former president, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. She was the first that offered white pickups to lawmakers when they were negotiating the Metalsi agreement. She was also encouraging officials at locale to bribe lawmakers in order to change the petroleum oil agreement. You see, that's what we're saying. We are telling you, officials today who want the status quo, who want only the elites to benefit, will not want any of these policies, will not make sure that these people are independent, the rural villagers are involved in producing, in selling, and of course, providing services for them to make money from those things. That's what we call decentralization. If you're going to decentralize, it means the rural villagers should have an opportunity, the privilege, and the resources to manage their own properties. We should not allow foreigners or few business people to say, oh, government officials should not be involved because they're corrupt, and they come there and they use the money and go to the Ministry of Finance to bribe people. I was at Ministry of Finance in 1978. When the 11 people came with the big checks, the officials insisted that we abandon everything to treat the check because they want that check to go through. And in fact, Transparency International clearly says that bribe offering is usually the big people, the people with money, the people with lucrative assets. They are the ones that offer bribes. And in fact, John Perkins says that in his book. He says that they come and tell you, look at the NGOs. 10 billion came to Liberia between 2006 and 2017, 2018. I wrote articles on that. What happened to the money? when the donors give the money, the NGOs claim that they could do better than government officials. And therefore, the donors should give them money. They should not give to the government. But what happened? When an international NGO received the money, they hired the local NGOs, and the local NGOs got the administrative costs. And the case is, for example, the WFP, with the $30 million, they used $9 million for administrative expenses, even though they say it should have been $6 million. Why? Because they gave the contract to local NGOs who also calculated their own administration costs to be deducted from the $30 million. So out of the $30 million, we used $9 million for administrative costs. Only $21 million was spent in terms of buying the food. Of course, whether they bought the food or not, that's another issue altogether. That's what
but people are saying that. People are saying, okay, everything you're saying here, we have heard it before, over and over, from a lot of old politicians. We have heard these things. Liberia, we're looking for leadership. We're looking for leaders. We're looking for leaders with contacts. We're looking for leaders. It's not because individual. Wait. We have tried so many. Relax. Which money they return?
They brought the money. They get the money right back.
Which one?
We got gold. We should dig our gold and get our money. We got diamond. We should dig our diamond and get our money.
Tier 1 is an honest guy, but still, I want you to tell me what making to be will be a good leader.
Getting our hands up and begging for money.
You're not the one that listen. You're not the one that running. You're not the one that running for president. You running. You are the chairman.
But I'm the party leader.
I want you to. So who controls the party? You or the standard bearer?
But who the chairman controls the party?
Oh no, I just asking the question. No, I just asking. Don't worry.
But the chairman of the party.
I just asking. I know the chairman control the party because some people believe that the standard bearer. But okay, now I want you to sell tier 1 to these people, to Liberian people.
That's what we're doing.
Liberia, we're looking for good leaders. We're looking for leadership.
But leaders now.
We're looking for leadership. It's not qualification. Mr. Cummings is not qualified than Mr. Tier 1 not qualified than Mr. Cummings. Mr. Cummings have worked in his field. He worked. Listen, I said they're not
working in America as chief executive is quite different from being Liberia. That's very different, sir. Cummings has never worked here. We don't know his track record here in Liberia or even with communities in the Americas. He was in Atlanta. There's no history that he worked with communities.
Where do you work? Where do you work in America? Where do you work? You?
I work with New York City Finance Department.
In America?
Yes.
Okay.
But
in Liberia.
Community affairs.
So in Liberia, where do you work?
I don't work. I retire.
But Mr. Cummings retired too, you know that?
Huh?
You said Mr. Cummings never worked in Liberia?
No, I said he didn't work with
No.
Where did
Mr. Cummings. So Mr. Cummings never worked in Liberia.
Where is he working? Where's the record?
He never worked in Liberia.
Can you compare record to Tier 1 Bungalow?
He never worked in Liberia.
Can he compare, if he work, can he compare record to Tier 1 Bungalow?
10 times 10. More than that.
Which one? Where? Show me one area.
Tier 1, just listen. Tier 1 lawyer. Excuse me. Wait. Tier 1 is a lawyer. He's a lawyer. He worked for Ellie. He went to the will. Listen, he went to the will. Mr. Cummings, when he went back, he worked with LBDR, and then he came back to the States before the coup. And then he worked here. Oh, so you don't know that Mr. Cummings working in Liberia?
I don't know because if
there you're gonna be there gonna be very difficult for you to win him because you don't know. Because if LPP was around, if LPP was going to be in the country speaking for the Liberian people, then you would know where Mr. Cummings, because you're running against Cummings now. No.
Wait.
You're running against Mr. Cummings. Now you're running against Mr. Cummings. I will advise you go and get his record.
He graduated from college yet? He didn't graduate from college yet.
He never went to college in Liberia?
He went to Cotton College, he left.
Yeah. And what it means?
Did he graduate from Cotton College?
So what it means when you go to LU and you don't graduate from LU and you graduate in America, is that a problem?
No.
Is that a problem? Is that what you... Wait. Mr. Chairman, your argument, I don't think, Mr. Chairman, your argument is not too strong. You telling me...
For what?
Wait, excuse me. if you went to school, you got your degree in financing. On your degree, on that paper, they never told you to work in government or work with private. It's up to you where you want to work. If you work in private sector and you retire, you are an experienced person from where you can. Oh, give me chance. Give me chance.
No,
you still have. So is there a particular degree? Excuse me, Mr. Tiawan got any degree to be president? Is there any degree they gave you to be president?
I agree that no degree, but
but then what your argument? Yeah. I said to you, wait, listen to me. I said Mr. Cummings is not qualified more than Tier 1. Tier 1 is not more qualified than Mr. Cummings.
No, but government Tier 1 is more qualified.
What? Show me Tier 1 role in government. What is role in government? Tier 1, no. Tier 1 work with the will and pleasure of the president. Tier 1 work to the will. Wait now, my man. Listen. Tier 1 work to the will and pleasure of the president. So tell me what, Tier 1 was a lawyer. He got a law firm. He's still working. Mr. Cummings retired. And Mr. Cummings, the first Nigerian who retired and get into politics.
What area of government?
So, listen, Tier 1 has no experience to be president than Mr. Cummings.
Cummings doesn't have either.
But there is no experience given. He was never president before. So your argument, no. Listen to me. Tier 1 was never president of Liberia. And listen, Tier 1 never led a group. Excuse me. Tier 1 was minister, but he failed. Tier 1 failed on that minister. That Ellie suspended him. All of them. Tier 1, Ellie suspended all the ministers if you want to talk about it. If you want to talk now, Ellie suspended all her ministers. And she decided to agree to it first. Agree to it first. Ellie suspended all her ministers. You agree?
But that's not how you run the government. That's what they want.
You agree that Ellie suspended all her ministers. She fired every one of them.
Doesn't mean all the ministers are bad.
No. Wait now. You agree that she fired all the ministers then?
But it doesn't mean they want to.
No, she fired every one of them. You agree to it that she fired all of them?
But I'm not firing.
Okay. Tier 1 was Solicitor General. He could not call Ellie up on corruption because the Minister of Justice. Listen, the Minister of Justice or the Solicitor General are the only people who can disagree with the president, are the only cabinet ministers that can disagree with the president because they're the one can tell the president the law. They're the one interpreting. They are the lawyer for the president. Now, he never prosecuted one corrupt official, even to challenge Ellie and say, Madam President, XYZ, they got the name on this thing here to challenge the president. He only challenged the president when she fired everybody and called him back. And he said, no, you should be strong to fire whoever caused the problem whatsoever. Fine. We know that one. So he worked to the will. He worked to the will and pleasure of the president. Still, it don't make him he will be a good president. Nobody went to school to say they're teaching you how to be president. He was never president before. He's a lawyer.
But
Mr. Cummings, a financial man, like you yourself, you're a CPA.
Look, you work in corporate America, things are set up. You don't have to be a smart person to work in corporate America.
Oh, don't say you don't have, listen, you don't have to be smart. But it's a zero tolerance job. If you don't perform, I don't expect you to even go that route to say. No. Because you won't play the politics. If you want to play that politics, Mr. Cummings started from Africa. He started from Africa and he went all the way to the top. How you think?
No, listen to me. When I work,
but you agree that Mr. Cummings is a successful businessman today. You agree to it?
No, but we agree. But that was successful.
No, you agree to that. So forget about Coca-Cola.
From government.
Forget about Coca-Cola. What about Pittsburgh? Because Coca-Cola, maybe you know about Coca-Cola. Maybe you know about Coca-Cola. What about Pittsburgh Food Company?
That's not true, sir. That's not true.
To say what?
the experience in working in corporate America is quite different from experience working in a poor country. It's different.
That's not true. What are you talking?
I'm telling you, I work in both places. I work in Liberia.
You working, listen, working as a civil servant. No, you work as a civil servant in Liberia. You work as a civil servant.
Yeah, and I work as a civil servant in New York.
So it got nothing to do with, say, you got more experience because you were working, you had a minister over you, you had directors or whatsoever. But you're a civil servant. You work as a civil servant. That is different.
Experience is quite different from Liberia.
Tier one work as a minister. Tier one work as a minister. Tier one work as a minister to the will and pleasure of somebody. It was not a job that he applied for. The only job that Tier one had, he had his own law firm where he go and plead law and do whatsoever. No, that's not true. That's not true. You see, that is why the progressive have failed the Liberian people so many times. And you want to come back to change the narrative and saying that because you don't work in government, you're not so. So if you tell me that because just by being minister of labor, so it qualifies. No, just by being minister of labor, that qualifies to want to go as president. That's what you're telling me.
I'm saying he got better experience than
But what experience you talking about? When you say experience, he worked in a government that he left. We fire him.
Okay.
He was fired.
Let's agree on that. That's your
okay. Now, how can he get experience when he only was minister of labor under Ellen? That gave him experience to be president.
Not only labor, he was
Solicitor General. Finish. What else? What experience? What is the experience?
There.
But then if that's the case, then Bwaka got more experience. He said 12 years as vice president and served to agriculture ministry. What you want to say?
The issue of Bwaka is not because experience. The issue of Bwaka is
so you want to tell me that Bwaka can say the same thing? Bwaka can say, you know what? I was vice president for 12 years.
Got experience, but he allowed Bernard you to control him.
No. I would not agree with you because you guys now trying to control Tier 1. They got plenty of people in the LPP that we know that got some tinted records, but don't relax yet. They're controlling Tier 1. They're supporting Tier 1.
I don't think that way is the one that can be controlled. I can tell you.
How you say so? Why you say so? In politics, listen, in politics, you know that. You cannot go to politics, you can't get into politics and say you push the old people away. You can't say you push the old people away.
Who will control him?
No, no. Ellen control him too. Ellen control him.
No, she did not.
Because if Ellen was not going to control him, he was going to prosecute some of them. No, if Ellen was not controlling him, he was going to prosecute because he said it on Spoon. There were names that came out. No.
Can you prosecute a sitting president?
No, not sitting president. No, not sitting president. He said there were at the time. No. Don't take words off my mouth. I never said for him to prosecute Ellen. I said when he was a solicitor general, when he was the SG under Ellen, there were investigations done where they could prosecute, but because the president held back and he just let it go because he never came to offer. But why he never did it, he could speak out at that time. Then they took him from there, they sent him to labor ministry. He accepted that job again. So from SG to labor ministry, he accepted it. So because of that two little position, that the one that made him qualified than the other people. My man had two positions. My man, president can give anybody position.
What's the little position your man had?
But he went to he never worked in government. He never worked in government. He never accepted. He never worked in government because he came well to the will and pleasure of people who will just say what they want to say.
Who told you? Let me tell you.
But you agree, Mr. Cummings never worked in government. He never worked in government. You running against him. You running against him. So you must know his record now. You better go and check because who running against him?
He can't convince the Liberian people. He cannot.
But if you say he can't convince them, how you convince them? He way ahead of y'all. He way ahead of y'all. He way ahead of you.
What area? He paying people to come out.
Anywhere he say it, you pay them. No problem. You gotta get money too.
Yeah, he got money.
So you got enough money to run election?
But that's what I'm saying. This election will not be about money. It will be like
all the poor people we gave position to, president to, today they are millionaires in Liberia.
That's why you want.
They are millionaires today.
That's why
and tier one working at UP government. The government that caused the problem today. Tier one served that government until Ellen was so discouraged she fired everybody and tried to bring them back. Oh, Ellen was discouraged. She fired everybody. She fired everybody. But you see, Tier one, I just said to you, I said Tier one is an honest man, but Tier one did nothing in labor ministry for the workers. No, individually, listen, I can be an honest man. I can be an honest man, but I'm not a good leader. So Tier one did nothing for workers in Liberia. I can tell you today.
Well, I can't go on that route again.
But I want you to go to because that's the record we're going to pull up.
Okay, let's go to energy, LEC.
No, we're talking about Tier one. You not listen.
But why
you know why I don't want to you know why I don't want to discuss the issue, because you don't get it on paper. I just checked the team. Listen, I just check.
How do
listen.
We electricity in
no, we listen to me. No.
Important for us.
This is not. You on the show want listen. You on the show want to sell Tier one. I'm asking you question. No, I'm asking you question. I'm asking you question.
Let's discuss the issue, sir.
No, I'm asking you question that people will post to Tier one tomorrow.
What question?
But you not the one. You think you
deal with that. Let me discuss.
No. But then if we deal with that, then the only thing then you can't come and discuss something that you don't get it on paper. I check your home, I check your one site. Everything you're telling me here is not on it.
But
I'm looking at it.
Let me discuss it first.
No. You cannot discuss something that is not written. You wouldn't give me a verbal. No, you agree that you gave me a verbal information right now.
No. You didn't say that.
I'm looking, searching the internet here. I went to the friends of Tier one. I'm looking on it. There is nothing you talk about here on it. How you create jobs. You telling me? I want you to tell me. No. You're not telling me how you create jobs. You're not telling me how you fight corruption. You're not telling me how you the agriculture, how you would government of inclusion. The first thing you're not prepared for that to unite the people. Liberia is more divided than anything. How Tier one going to unite? But you want to tell me about policy. So you're only concerned about policy, but you're not concerned about the security of the country, how we're so divided.
No. I discussed cassava politics.
No, you see, this is where. No,
I'm asking you. I said, let's go to the issue.
Progressive.
Paper so you can hear me.
But this is the thing here. If you're telling me that you're talking about a whole party, what is the party agenda? That if they're in charge tomorrow, let me read it on your site.
You say no.
The first thing, you don't have a website. LPP don't have a website.
Why you can say we got a website, we got Facebook?
But I'm looking at the thing, I see nothing on it that you're telling me.
But for you see nothing when it comes to LPP. That's true.
No, it's not about LPP business, because the thing is that LPP looking new.
Website.
LPP looking new to the Liberian people, because you guys always after election you can disappear.
But you continue to repeat this one thing.
Yes, because that's what I'm going to ask you in Liberia.
Can we emancipate from that and go to something else?
So if you say people vote on, maybe people vote on individual, that means LPP will not win, because I only Tier one alone. People already. I like Tier one, but I support different person already, so I can support Tier one because I already support somebody.
Supporting somebody already.
No. Before you can, I support Mr. Cummings. I support Mr. Cummings. I support you, but you know I support Mr. Cummings. I know you checked already, and Najor told you.
I didn't check you. I don't know you. How do I check you?
Okay, but Najor told you.
You are defending.
And at least I'm asking you an honest question. You the one brought Cummings in this. No. You the one brought Cummings in the whole thing, because I promise not to even talk about Cummings, that you the one continue to push, because you're trying to pick me up too. So that's me. I'll bring other people.
I didn't know you supported Cummings, but that's fine.
See, I want myself to communicate. I say I'm a Cummings supporter, but I like you. And I would love to see the two teams together. I would love to see two of them together. But
Oh,
the
that's
progressive say they the one started the process. They the one started the process, so they must be in front.
But no, listen, if you want for want to be so, but you can't have people like Musa Belete.
But you listen, you can't come in and say you will throw all the Liberians away. When the head is clean. Look, if tier one is the head and any other day on the knee, I don't worry about it.
No, you worry.
When the head is surrounded by a lot of crooks, I worry, no. When in politics, you need everybody.
Politics, my friend.
You need everybody in politics. You can never throw the old politician or the old people away. The same way some people feel that the progressive, they're not nothing.
We can't be saying one clean record and Musa Belete is the first man on the list. No way.
Y'all stop it before they start putting your members' name on the wall. The one that will not join your party.
But when it comes to that, don't worry. It's good. It's good.
Y'all will expel them. Y'all will expel them. Y'all will expel them.
You see Musa Belete coming to our party? Do you see that?
But Musa Belete, because you guys were not around. But guess what now? You talking about Musa Belete. Your first chairman, the first chairman of Liberty Party, that his son was Musa Belete. You know that, eh?
Like who?
That his son, the late Amos Sawyer's son was Musa Belete. You know Musa Belete are progressive? You don't know that Musa Belete are progressive? You don't know that?
No, but I'm not progressive.
Okay, not because he didn't join your party now, but because you are not being around for so long, so other people go to different party.
Against the will of the masses, you can't call yourself progressive.
My man, you see, you're too entitled to the thing. You're anyway, UPD sleeping now, the LPP now. You still believe that we started the process, we will still come back and do it. The Liberian people's minds are different.
But
I hope because the people will start calling you socialists again.
Tell me the views. Let's discuss. You don't want to discuss issues.
Yeah, but we'll discuss that issue. I can bring two persons on to discuss. I can bring two persons to discuss an issue, but I don't want for you and myself to we're not having a debate.
Exactly.
I want you to tell me, because you are the chairman, the new chairman. You are the new chairman. So right. I want to introduce yourself to people and just tell me what tier one instead of telling me about what. But I'm looking on it. I don't see no agenda. I don't see no agenda yet. You people have not written anything. Maybe y'all got everything.
I did not come to read paper. I came here to talk to you, talk to the audience. I gave you, for example, I'm telling you, here you have a government. They signed a memorandum of understanding with a creditor, happened to be the central bank, that it will stop paying the debt starting 2029. But they allocated money now in 2020, 2021, 2022. Don't you think that's important? If you take power as government and there's no money, you think the people will not running out of office? Those are the important issues we want to discuss, sir.
Okay, you want me to open the line so people can ask you questions?
Well, I mean, you control this. So
no, I let them get my guests. I left my guests to be maybe some. I know I'm not saying you run away from questions. I'm not saying it, but maybe.
Look, let me for example, let me tell you what some of the things we addressed. I'll give you a typical example. Who was right in 2018 when Madam Salif said she left excess money and President Weah said that was not true? Who was right? Of course, George Weah was right. The country was broke. And
but George Weah did not audit.
Ellen was misleading the Liberian people when she said the country had money. What she was talking about was special drawing rights. Special drawing rights are not money. Okay? So those are the issues we want to discuss. All right? Right now, look at the road fund issue. Can we discuss that? The road fund. I want to ask you.
But we know that George Weah didn't get the money. Then we can't discuss road fund issue. You want defend? You sort of argue with CDC on that one that you and CDC are going to debate.
No.
We know that they did all these things. They stole the money. Mr. Cummings have written letters and has spoken over 200 times against this government.
have an article out
But
there.
where you been sitting? Where you been? Where you been sitting? And you say you know nothing about Alexander Cummings.
But well, follow the papers. Where are the papers?
This man have had more interview than any political candidate in our country. This man have visited 15 counties, 73 districts. And this man is still going around the country. He was just in Nima the other day.
I read through it to see how you bring Liberia to stability. I didn't see anything. How is he going to deal with the diamond industry? How is he going to deal with the gold industry? How is he going to deal with the timber industry? Is he going to allow the same people who are running and managing the timber industry to do so? I don't think so. That's what we're talking about. We are saying let the rural communities, the rural residents get involved in managing their resources so they can get some of the benefit.
The progressive, no, I will be honest with you. I will be honest with you. The progressive taking a long and hard road. You cannot bring the 1980. You can't bring the 1980. You can't bring the 1980 thing that never worked for the Liberian people. It never worked. You making it too long. The first thing, if you are to tell, listen, I want you to give me, okay, give me the short plan. I don't want, no, listen. Everything you need or short-term plan, how you will get the people out of it before you start planning a long-term plan. What is your first 100 days? How are you going to change the people's life? Because they will be expecting it. So if you, all the things you're talking, they are all long-term plans. No, you're telling me about diamond industry. You're telling me about this. You're telling me about that. You think I want to bring one listen to?
Tomorrow, if George Weah start walking in the street and start eating cassava, if Alexander Cummings start walking the street and start eating cassava,
so they won't eating cassava. So they won't eating cassava now. So they won't eating cassava. In fact, they won't be eating GB. So you're eating GB now.
Yeah, eating Farina. In fact, we want to book.
Farina eating now. Oh, he acting a tipo now. He wants to say he eating any kind of hard time food so the people follow him too.
Well, you see now, you don't mind. You know what he put that did? And I wrote an article on that. He did very well for
you said if Joe will start eating cassava, the people eat cassava. The people in Labro eating cassava, they eating farina, they eating whatsoever. But we need
that's why, because we gotta live the life. We gotta make sure to put our hearts where our hands can reach.
So what kind of rice you eating? What kind of rice you eating, Labro? What kind of rice you eating, Labro?
We're trying to transform.
What kind of rice you eating in Labro?
Let's eat what we grow. Let's eat what we grow.
Hey, you eating pusao?
What we grow.
Hey, you eating pusao? What you eating, la bro? Not pusao.
Huh?
What you eating, la bro? Pusao or country rice?
Well, I eat rice.
You eat pusao? La pusao eating?
I eat rice.
But you eat pusao, not country rice. You're not eating country rice.
But you know,
but you're not eating country rice. You eating pusao. La pusao eating. Even they say rest hard. Even they say rest hard. You know where to get your rest from.
I eat a cassava, but at least I try to make sure we eat cassava.
And but I'm not eating. My people eat cassava in Liberia. My people eat cassava.
People eat cassava.
Yesterday they bought a whole bag of cassava. They want to go look for it. They bought cassava.
But that's what we should do.
Okay, but I don't want to see that. But it's not. We're talking about investing. We're talking about investing in agriculture.
Can you encourage your partners to start eating cassava?
But why don't you eat cassava? If they want to eat it, they eat it. Don't want to eat it, don't have to eat it.
No. You see, we have to.
No, you see, then we're wrong. I can't tell somebody to eat something.
I not tell you to force anybody.
We can't even encourage the people when the cassava not even there. We're talking about real agriculture, mega agriculture. We're not just talking about giving the people a fertilizer to go start planting small farm and garden.
But
we're talking about government investing, good thing. But they're doing it already.
You stop.
They got the farmers. People got farms in Liberia. My in-law got a big farm there doing rice in Bonkante.
Okay.
So they got people doing things there. But it's not enough. It's not enough.
It's not sufficient.
We know it's not sufficient. Government's supposed to invest into it. Government's supposed to encourage the people to do it.
Excuse me?
Government's supposed to encourage the people to invest into it.
Exactly. That's what we're saying. So
according to the UN, according to their rights, so there was some proposal. They say for third world country, if you really want to create jobs and invest into agriculture, 10% of your national budget should be allocated for agriculture.
Exactly.
We know that
was signed 20
the government
has gone
giving
nowhere.
was 0.4 or 1% right now. That's all in the budget.
Exactly. It has gone nowhere.
Okay.
That's
So
what
it's
we're
not
saying.
doing anything. We all know that one.
That's precisely why we're saying
So-
let's begin to eat what we grow. Let's make
We
sure
got-
put emphasis
okay.
on that. So
We
I'm
have
happy
a
in the
Mr.
future.
I want to
I'm very
see
for you. And
Mr.
I
Mr.
hope-
Gongo.
and you see,
Mr.
if we
Gongo
do
is a
that, we'll
good
get
guy.
to flower.
We want the competition to be good. That's the beauty of democracy.
Yes.
Liberian
And
people
that's
should
why
decide.
that's why we should discuss issues.
Liberian people should decide between the candidates. We'll go around, everybody going to campaign. We want to see what they will be doing. It's not just about talking anymore. I want to see the platform, what Tier 1 is running
But
on.
that's
Mr.
when
Cummings
the
guy,
Red Bull, you don't follow the
Mr.
Red
Cummings,
Bull.
Mr. Cummings guy out there. He got the 5 watts and how. You can go and read it. I want to read Tier 1 on too. Mr. Cummings got it there. He got the infrastructure. He got job creation. He got
But
and he
you
broke
got
it
money, now
down.
you have infrastructure. You don't
He
have money.
broke-
How you gonna have
listen.
infrastructure?
Hey, boy. I said he got infrastructure. He got job creation. He got
Where
agriculture.
you gonna
He
create
got
jobs? Where?
education. He got health. He got government of inclusion. In our infrastructure, you got electricity, you got water, you got internet connectivities, you got bridges, roads, they all under infrastructure. Then he got different. So I want to see the one Tier 1 on.
You see, that can be interesting for you to put up policy when you have not discussed with the people.
How you know?
Well, I haven't seen him going around.
But then because you're not there, you been out, you
Who
been
I'm
hiding.
about that? I just come
No,
from there.
you're hiding.
Right?
Because
Anywhere.
Mr. Cummings, the only candidate
The only place
that
he
have
goes to
traveled
money.
the entire
He doesn't
country.
He doesn't go have a workshop to discuss issue.
What basically you
We've
think?
been having policy debate.
Wait. That
We've
means
been
you
having
see
policy
you.
debate.
No. You are the one need to have a workshop now because you just opening your door.
No,
Your door was closed.
You see, when you think that we were not working because
No, you were not. You LP was not. Mr. Tiawan Gonglo, Councillor Gonglo just came. Councillor Gonglo just came out. Gonglo just came out. There is nothing about LPP. So you see, the other parties now they finish with all the things. They're going around. Mr. Cummings, the only candidate have visited all the counties and still going around. But you have not seen him yet. No, you don't see him yet. You don't see him yet.
We're in Nuku Town.
You still worry about still worry about Monserrato that you listen. You worry about Monserrato that you can't win.
What?
You can't win Monserrato, then you worry about Monserrato.
But no one candidate can win Monserrato.
No, but at least Mr. Cummings defeated your big in Monserrato. You know that, eh?
Defeated when he said who the win.
But LP on the part on the team last year, in 2017. LP on it. LP had where the king last.
With all the money he had, the percentage of vote he had, you gotta think twice. Because I don't think he's gonna do better than that.
But listen now. Listen.
He didn't do well.
But no. Now you get it wrong now. He came second. He came second in Maryland.
Second, he should be fighting on my second.
But he was not born. He was not. No. He was not born in Maryland. But LPP from 1984, LPP being existent. In 2017, they got
one senator. We had one senator. We got one representative.
Wait. Give me chance. What
representative?
Which one from where? Which one?
From Monserrato, representative.
Who you got from?
Who is associate justice?
Hey man, the man at CDC, man, the man ran on CDC ticket. Stop it, man. Where you got driving at this one? The man ran on CDC ticket. That was sedition. He was a sedition. He came from UP. He UP. The man came from UP. He went to CDC. Oh, he ran on LPP. Listen, he's a progressive. He was from your party. He went to Ellen party. But let me tell you something. Okay, you been around since 1984. Since 1984. Out of 22 parties, out of 22, you came, if I'm mistaken, I think either second to last or last. Out of 22.
I'm not going to debate that.
Okay. So
Very
then
well.
how can you, and you still
Then we
talking
go to
about,
the
you
issue.
still talking about Montserrado County?
No, I'm just you saying we're not being around. Saying that's not true. Our
No, your door closed. Listen, your door closed right now. The time y'all would take to go around to tell the people say the door open will be in election. Then when you lose the election again, then you will leave again. That's what we're saying.
But if you're gonna win, why worry, sir?
No, but are you the one worrying? But listen, I'm not worrying
No,
because
I'm not worried.
if Mr. Cummings,
you see, you're the one.
the institution will stay.
Government coalition, right?
No, the institution will stay because when we talk about coalition, we tire with it 20 political parties. We tire with 20 political parties running all over the place. Now what we tire about? We tire. If you ask me now, they say y'all get two. But yeah, but we tire with it too much. Small Liberia. Liberia is too small to get 22 parties, man.
The voters will decide that, sir.
But Labour, ALP, LPP, your members are gone. I don't know how you're going to get them back. Plenty of them gone already.
That's who all voted for Darren Dillon?
Some of them in Liberty Party, some in CDC,
but I was telling them
some in
the wrong place because
they all over the place now. They all over the place now. So I don't think your membership now reached, according to NEC last year, according to what you got, that's what we'll base you on. Your membership ain't reached 2,000 again in the country.
But then why you want to be vice president?
No, Tier 1 is an individual.
Oh,
Tier 1 is an individual.
Right?
He's an individual. Nobody controlling. He's a man who, a decent man. So
no,
if you go with Cummings, it will be a good team.
Cummings with ability.
But then it's up to Mr. Tier 1 Gonglo because he will not win election. But it's up to you to support.
The purpose for you talking about replacing we want to transform society.
But we're transforming the society. Then if you talk about transforming, then John, we have to transform the society.
Who?
John President, we are. To
that
help.
No job, we are not transforming anything.
Oh, but then that's the same thing. Everybody want to move, we have to transform it. But we get new ideas, the other idea, but you still bringing the progressive ideas, and the other people bringing new ideas. They want to try new things. They voted for we are because of change. The people voted for we are because of change. He's a new thing. He never held president before. He never went to the town before.
Okay. He's a new thing, Liberia. Okay.
But then Tier 1 now, if you say that Tier 1, then Tier 1 now a new thing either. Tier 1 is not new. But it's Tier 1 new. It's Tier 1 with any good idea right now. Because Tier 1 is just want to say the same thing you say.
With Alexander coming friend a new thing.
Oh, Imaya Shaw Alexander coming. He can't take it. So
we know that.
Listen to me. You see, we're not going to fall for anything again where we thought that, we push everybody aside. We're not here. We have to bring Liberians together.
Yeah, we agree.
What make you a great leader? What make you a great leader is what you do behind closed doors. Okay, then you will remain as a progressive talking in a small little group. Fine. Because if you say you want to push all the Liberians aside, how you going to do it?
Many Liberians are good, are not tinted.
No, because the same progressive was in the interim government, and they messed up Liberia. They created more fashion.
We're not gonna have tinted people.
But don't you know the progressive? They want to
my friend.
You know the progressive are the one who created the war.
Say whatever you want to say.
You agree to it too? They were all in Libya and training people, the family and whatsoever, along with Charles Taylor. They had their own group too. You agree?
That will not discourage us, sir.
No, I'm not discouraging you because these are the things that will come towards you.
Okay, because we'll deal with them.
So the thing is that Liberians are not prepared anymore for progressive to push them around.
That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. That's not what it's saying. They are saying they made a mistake to select people.
Liberian made a mistake. I agree.
Who lied to them?
No, but your people work with Ellie. All the progressive work with Ellie.
But,
Amos saw
but
your
that's
tier
what
one
we
gonglo.
do. You see, you
Tier one
telling us we
gonglo.
don't like to work. I'm saying to you that's not true. We're always working with people.
And y'all end there too. And y'all work there, y'all finish and y'all enjoy everything before y'all left. You ain't criticize Ellie one day.
That's what we're telling you. We're tired working for people. We're tired working for people. We're tired.
But you're not bringing good solution. That's the thing I'm telling you. What you saying here, that they put with that
No,
before
you
all
don't
that
want
plan
to
go
see the
through.
solution. You only want to talk about collaboration.
Because you gave me a long-term plan. And now I want you. I want to tell me what
So
you will do for the Liberian people.
I'm saying to you, let's begin to eat what we grow.
Yeah, but still, you're talking about it. We've been talking about agriculture from do all the way.
No,
You're
not the kind of
progressive.
agriculture that you are talking about.
But still, your plans are not no different from the old ones that we heard.
That's not true.
And what
That's
you telling me,
I've checked.
I have checked on the team Gongo.
Let the government help the rural communities. Let them begin to grow their own food, and government to buy the food from them to feed the people, to feed the patients in the hospital, to feed
that message is for the message you're giving now is for the government.
Program that the attendants at that program, the first thing they must eat their own food.
Okay.
If you do that, why
the progressive sat for 12 years?
But
could not challenge Ellie.
No.
You stay challenge Ellie. And then George, we have 5 years. You just came out few days and start talking. Where were you? Why you left? You left the era.
So therefore, will come up vice president, right?
No, when you another point, whether you can as vice president or not, you left the era as far as we concern.
But let people judge that.
If NEC were going to stick by the rules, LPP was not going to contest because they were below the percentage.
It didn't make it. We knew you were working on it, but we fought it. We knew that.
No. NEC decided. No.
People told us they were fighting it. It didn't work.
No, because the fact is that because of peace, they say everybody should go through because the people who came down to certain party. But you can't less than 1%.
You can't
stop for that's democracy. Not us. We the one post pass the rules that NEC rules.
No,
NEC rules.
But you're the one engineer.
Yeah,
you know that.
But it's gonna be hard for you guys, my man. The time too short.
But the time is short. We deal with that. We don't have money. The
time is short.
Okay.
No, you can't come into election and say, and you want what you wasting the vote for?
Let's judge that. You got nothing to do with that. Let's discuss.
So okay, let me ask you this question because I think I will have to bring you on and bring somebody on. So
yeah, bring somebody on who knows. But
listen, and I will tell you.
Let's discuss issues.
Yeah, but then when I will give time to talk. But let me say this to you.
Okay.
You going on your own, everybody going their own, going to general election. This election might have maybe 4 or 5 candidates. I believe it. That's my belief. I don't think we're going to get 22 candidates again. Because right now we know about 4, George, Boaka, Cummings, Tier 1. Maybe 4 person or 5. In case Tier 1 don't make it to the second round, or Cummings don't make it to the second, or Boaka don't make it to the second round. But somebody make it to the second round with Mr. Weir.
We will not go with Weir. We will not go with Weir. That case is closed. We will not go with Weir.
So you will go with the person who go against Weir. So that means the opposition, we are almost on the same stuff. So that's another way too. I said it before, which yes, we don't have to collaborate now, but we cross the line, whoever crosses the line,
it's obvious.
No, which is true. I get it. So we're all on the same page. We're not just removing we know that. It's just that we have failed the Liberian people. We all know that he failed the Liberian people big time. So it's not that we want to just move him because we're tired with him. But he failed the people everywhere.
But that's why we should begin to discuss issues, forget about collaboration first. Obviously.
Which is true. So you want your man to win, I want my man to win. Or I'm not discussing my man on the show. But listen, I think we'll have another conversation again. I want to say congratulations
Thank you, sir.
And thanks for being in the hot seat.
No, it's
Uh,
okay. Thank you.
it's all kind of texts coming out now. Some people fussing with me already.
Okay, let's go ahead. I'm ready.
So both fussing with me to say you brought why will bring LPP on the show. But
Okay.
we in the same boat together. We want to see Liberia good. It's the right of every Liberian to participate. It's
Okay.
just that I hope our people mind will be open this time. Instead of
But we
telling
have to
people
change. We have to
what
change their mind. We have to change their
what
mind,
have you done?
and that's why
What you did
we
for
can't
us?
spend too much
What
of
you did
money.
for us? What you did? So the government got everything, every advantage. This election will not be an easy election. I can tell anybody. We will not go down easy. I hope tomorrow you just there's something I will say you're not running again, but it will be a tough election. But give me your closing and talk to your people, your LP members, and whatsoever. What advice you have for them?
Look, we saying this is about time to change the narrative that we've been carrying around, especially when it comes to corruption. We have to change our attitude. I don't believe using Natanya Magay as a poster child of corruption is the right way. We should begin prosecuting Ellen Johnson Lee, including George Weah. When the iron is hot, that's the time you bend it. To the Liberian people, we have to change our attitude. We can't continue thinking that when you steal from government, it's okay. When you don't steal from government, you are a fool. Or government properties, elephant meat, the properties can finish. We got to change that attitude. If we don't act the way the people from Asia act, that is, when they steal, they end up sometimes committing suicide because they believe they have brought shame to the family. We have to go back to that tradition. That something that does not belong to you, you should not take it. Something that you don't deserve, you should not take it. And to the partisans of LPP, we say to you, we have to work hard. We have to make sure we don't insist on carrying the same concept that other parties are carrying. You know, it's money game. This
Yeah.
election, you got to pay money to people before they come. No, because if you do that, you only insisting on getting money from some big shop who will end up controlling you tomorrow. We have to stop that. We have to move ahead and work harder, sacrifice. But again, like I said, let's eat what we grow. Let's continue to focus on those food that we can get cheaply and available and eat it nutritional. We can start with yam, cassava, banana, and plenty. Encourage all of us to do that. On the question of the gold and the diamond, we have to begin now to say, look, let us allow the rural communities, let them begin to invest, let them begin to dig gold and diamond. We should not say that only foreigners know how to dig the gold, they don't know how to dig the diamond. We shouldn't do that. Let's work on that. Let us also make sure that when we talk about electricity, that's a tough war. Look, you got 6 counties that do not have commercial bank. Why? The reason you don't have commercial bank in 6 counties out of the 15 is because they don't have sufficient customer, to give the banks what the banks want. Banks want people to borrow money from them in order to make money from interest income. But because you don't have a lot of commercial activities in those 6 counties, that's why you don't have banks. You know, and that's why you don't have commercial bank. If you can't have commercial bank, is it possible you can have electricity? Maybe yes, but then we have to focus on the solar panel, which will be an alternative. So
Hello, you can hear me? Hello? You're freezing up. Hello?
try to think
You're breaking up. Hello, you're breaking up. We can't hear you. Okay, if you can hear me there, you're breaking up and you freeze up already. I don't know what's the problem. Maybe it's from your. You can hello? You can hear me?
hello.
Yeah, you are breaking up. You are breaking up.
This is
You
often
went
caused
to
by
this.
unstable internet
Yeah,
connection.
you went to the solar panel. You were to the solar panel. That where you got freeze. You freeze up again. Hello. Hello. Okay, and his internet went off, but I think he was giving his closing. I will bring him on again if it's possible. The conversation was good, and but I just want to say this, that these are the questions that Tier 1 will face and tomorrow. And I see somebody wrote here, you know, Mesco, sometimes it's not good to give it's not good to give information that is not factual. He said Tier 1 as a Solicitor General prosecuted Edwin Snow, Judy Bryan, and many others. He also remarkable made his name as the best labor minister of Liberia. He also served as president of the Liberian Bar Association. Moses and Mesco, you are lying. How can you be the best labor minister? You see, these are some of the things we're talking about. You are a progressive, I understand, but don't give a fake story. You give your own award at the same time. How can you tell me that Mr. Tier 1 Gonglo was the best labor minister when the employment rates were still the same, the payment and minimum wage were never increased, people were making less money? That's the job of the Ministry of Labor. So you can't tell me that he was the best labor minister. I will say it again. Tier 1 Gonglo as an individual, cutting his salary, taking what belonged to him is different. But I still don't see the leadership in him. But it is his right to contest. It is someone that you will have to sell. But no one can tell me that there is no school when it comes to presidency. Every Liberian who is educated, you are an educated person, you can be a good leader. But none of them have held that presidency before. Tier 1 was never a president. Mr. Cummings was never a president, or Mr. Bwaka. So they all running. But Mr. Cummings has the leadership ability. Because of leadership ability, that is why he succeeded in whatever he did. In the CPP, he succeeded. In his private sector jobs that he did, he came from all the way down to the top. He succeeded as leadership role he played. He controlled the entire Coca-Cola from one office that he sat in, networking, because he's a good leader. That is why. So if you think that Mr. Cummings, because he never worked in government, he's not qualified to run for president, then you're getting it wrong. But what I'm saying here, the LPP is late. The time you got to go around. LPP, all the time when election is coming, they come around, and after the election, they will leave. We all know that. So Liberians are people who are not the same. The progressive are not around anymore. The young people are not progressive anymore. The voters in Liberia are not. They're almost like the people who are going to be supporting Bwaka, the old Liberians and whatsoever. They between 19 to 35 now are the ones going to break the tie in Liberia. How are you going to convince them? What are the plans? What the short term and the long plan? Put it on paper. Let us read it and let the Liberian people know. You know. So let me see. He can bring his close. He can give his closing again before we leave. Okay, you are what happened? You went your
Uh,
internet went off. So finish with your closing.
well, okay. Yes, I mean, I am on jacket off. Well, I was just basically appealing to the members, but I think more importantly, the Liberians, we have to get serious and move ahead. We can't continue to do things the old way. We have to insist that We're talking about integrity. We are serious about integrity. We cannot be insisting that, we want money for our votes and then think that the politicians will do the right thing. We can't do that. We have to say, if we want politicians to do the right thing, we cannot be insisting that they should buy our votes. If we allow them to buy the votes, they're not going to be sincere. People, politicians who bring money, you can eat it and then vote the right way, but don't promise them because that's the wrong thing to do. But we have to get serious in terms of some of the issues and let us be well informed. Let us begin, even in the different parties, begin to review the different reports of the different government industries. Download the report of LEC, NASCAP, or even Ministry of Public Works, Ministry of Education. Look at their reports and see what you can learn from there. Don't be like Jefferson Koji that you are appointed and you know nothing about your area. Don't do that. Please, let us begin to focus on the government that we want to take over. If we say we are government in waiting, then we should learn what the government is about. Read the different reports. Go to Ministry of Finance website. You will download the budget. You will know, for example, how much is appropriated for the health of social welfare, the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare. You will know how much is allocated for infant mortality rate. You will know how much allocated for AIDS. You will know how much is allocated for Phoebe, the different hospitals. You have an idea. Do that. At least you will know. If you visit the different international reports, even Price Waterhouse or World Bank, you will see the report they have, on Liberia. For example, I saw a statement and I saw the honorable minister jubilating because the World Bank is insisting or indicating that Liberia is doing better. How can that be with the kind of situation you have on hand? But you see, that's what we need to do. We need to visit these reports and see what are the true story and learn them so at least tomorrow we can confront what is happening. So I'm appealing to everybody that we should get involved and do the right thing. Thank you very much. Thank you for staying with us for all this, for these hours of the night. It's after 12. It's 1:10. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zizi, and I wish you the best in your undertaking. And I hope that you will realize your dream and God grant you your request. And this election up to next year will be peaceful. So have a good day and good night. But I will call you again. We will talk, and I hope we can have another conversation again.
Bet you got it.
Okay. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
All right. Okay, guys. That was YANQUI Zizi, the newly elected chairman of Liberty Party. And some of the comments here, uh, 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 some of the comments here from this guy, which is it make me, we talk about experience. I don't know what people have to understand experience. The job of a president, I don't know which type of experience one should have. In our constitution, there is nothing written in the constitution that you must have this amount of experience to run for office. 35 years old, born Liberian, $25,000 worth of property or asset or whatsoever. And that's it. But it's always good to be educated. If you're a smart guy, but what we look at in leadership is honesty, integrity, and empathy. You might add other things onto other characteristics onto leadership, but decision making and whatsoever, all these things are something that is not, because there's something they say no decision is right until it is right. But when people tell me that Mr. Cummings don't have an experience, Tier 1 got an experience, then I question and I ask myself, Yeah, a man who work only in Liberia. There is nothing to tell you that you must work in government before you run for office. That's not truth. That's not truth. If it's a particular fee, if you an engineer, you was working as an engineer. If you want to apply somewhere as for an engineer position, they say, oh, the man got experience. They man working that fee for 20 years. That's it. If you're an accountant and you want to apply for the accounting job and you've been there for 20 years and this man who just coming, yes, you got more experience than this guy as an accountant. But not president, not senator. My people, this is a common sense. Tiawan Gonglo, he's a lawyer, a seasoned lawyer, a lawyer just coming up from Louis Arthur Graham School, who just passed the test. Okay, let's put an example. Charlene Bromsky and Tiawan Gonglo. Who you think got more experience? Tiawan, because Tiawan been in the law business before Charlene Bromsky. So let's go to Bromsky and Tiawan. Depends how long they stay in that fee. Then you say you got experience. But nobody should tell me running for office where the people vote for you, then you talk about experience. That means you not. Stop it, Liberian people. You people went to school. You went to school. You are smart people. Don't fool Liberians. Mr. Cummings is not running to be a lawyer or Tier 1. Is not running to be a financial officer. I just said it that Tier 1 is not qualified than Mr. Cummings. Mr. Cummings is not qualified than Tier 1. Tier 1 is a lawyer. Mr. Cummings is a financial guy. Economics. And even if he got a little law under his sleeve too, but he's not a lawyer. Let's look at Mariah. She's an attorney. When it comes to the law, she ain't got more experience than Tier 1. It's a different thing. But running for office, then you tell me the man get experience than the other man. You're not fool also. You're stop it. Don't fool nobody because like Brempo, the are not close. We will explain to our people. We will explain. Mr. Boaka, 12 years as vice president, it still don't give him experience to be president because he was never or acting president. He was never one day or acting president. He never one day acted as an acting president. No. He was not acting to say, oh yeah, Mr. Boaka acted for 2 months and whatsoever, so he know how the office works. He don't still know. He's a vice president. So it got nothing to do. A senator can run for president, and you cannot tell me that the senator, because he just coming, he don't have experience. No, 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 no. So you can work on this, but if you work in a particular field, then you talk about experience. Who told you guys that? Hey, God. Look, you can be a medical doctor and run for office, president. You can be a lawyer and run for office. The difference with most of the lawyers, they almost like police. They can interrogate you, they can investigate, they investigate us too. They can ask you questions, they can even convince confuse you where you can even start to say the wrong thing. A teacher can run for office, or an engineer can run for office. Anybody can run for office. When you're an engineer and you run for office, you're not going to do engineering work. But guess what? Everything when they're talking to you, you say, for me, I'm an engineer. But what you're going to use in there is your leadership ability. One, and I will say it today, there's a book written by Jefferson on leadership. On chapter 1 is honesty. The leader must be honest to the people, speak the truth. The leader is someone who must have that integrity. Respect yourself, you respect the people, and empathy. Every leader, every human being must have that. How it feels to sit in a chair and you can't move. How it feels if you can't send your child to school and whatsoever. All the other things will follow. You must listen to people before you make a decision. That is why they will tell you the president of Liberia, America, United, anywhere, do not write their own speech. The people write the speech for you. All the experts from this, the economists and whatsoever, they put everything in that speech and they make you to read it. You look at it. Some other guys who are smart, some of them, they know what they're doing. They can say, oh no, this one not supposed to be there. They will read that speech over and over to know, so they will be able to, they will study the speech and that's it. Some presidents, certain personal speech, they might write it, but just short thing they're going to give. But no president write a speech. Because one, the president of Liberia he don't go to Maryland County to know what's happening in Maryland County. So if it's in his speech, the Android message, people write it and give it to him to read. So when y'all talk about experience, everybody running for that office, they never sat there before. Now, Joshua can say, my man, I got experience in the president business because I'm the president right now. He can say it. That he will not defense. He can say, well, I'm the president. I feel giving the citizen something that we'll be talking about. But when I look at people saying that, this guy telling me, he said that disrespected and supreme mentality of the commies and his group got me to cut off my support from. No, you were never a Mr. Cummings supporter. That's a lie. You are a liar, and I will tell you a lie. You never supported Mr. Cummings. You were never a Cummings supporter. People who support people do not come up and say, I left this person because of John Brown. You are a big liar. I tell you straight up. I will never leave a group because of one individual. You know what I'm saying? So you lie first. Then you came back here and posted a mess. This is the day that you posted. It is very disappointing when Kishen is comparing Cummings and Tier 1, knowing very well Cummings is a little bored when it comes to government. It is insulting to Tier 1. You are stupid man again. And if Mr. ZAZA is listening, I want to say these are some of the people who can never convince us, because I think like they support us. Let me tell you today, I support Mr. Cummings, but I don't just say mess about Cummings. If you, Mesco, will say Mr. Cummings is a little bore to Tier 1, then the man you want to support, you can't sell him to me. Because the first thing, you yourself, you are little ball from your post. You are little ball. A man who is successful, who started, came to this, he worked, since you guys don't know, Mr. Cummings went to the same demonstration and lived in the same era, went to CWA, went to Cottington before going and got his degree, came to Liberia, worked for LBDR as a financial analyst, and decided, got a little thing again, decided to come, to leave the country to go pursue his career. While he was in America, the coup took place. Everybody decided to stay. He continued. He was in America from Pittsburgh Food Company. You don't know. You're talking about Coca-Cola. Only Coca-Cola you know about. But Mr. Cummings was vice president of Pittsburgh Food Company, responsible for the entire Asia. He was the youngest, 36 years old. Then he applied to Coca-Cola. But guess what? Coca-Cola sent him to Nigeria. Imagine you in America, they say, go to Nigeria. He went to Nigeria. He started from there. He worked his way up with his family. He worked his way up all the way. He spent 18 years with that company. He retired. He make his name. Go on the website. There you call Cummings a little boy to Mr. Gonglo. Cummings is not running to be a counselor or a lawyer. Mr. Cummings is not a lawyer. They feel the profession of Mr. Cummings, Tier 1 Gonglo, is a little boy. The profession of Tier 1 Gonglo, Mr. Cummings, is not a lawyer. But guess what? Mr. Cummings know about law because Mr. Cummings was responsible for legal matters at Coca-Cola too. So law, the only difference is that Tier 1 Gonglo can go in court and plead the law. But they got Liberians who read the Constitution and know the law. But the difference is that Tier 1 Gonglo, that's his job. He go to court, he plead the case, and read the same book. But some of your brains are mutt. You come here, you disrespecting me, but you say I disrespecting Tier 1 because I said that Mr. Cummings is not qualified in Tier 1. Tier 1 is not qualified, Mr. Cummings. We talk about leadership. That's what Liberian people got to look at. Then you talk about experience. You guys have, look, you're wasting your time. We will campaign. We will tell you that I will be I'm an honest guy. I'm a fair dude. Nobody will bring you on the show, but you're not supporting the candidate easily. I'm the only person who do that. Nobody bring you on the show. I never draw Mr. Cummings into the topic. They brought Mr. Cummings in the book because when the guy asked me, Nigeria asked me, I said, I support Mr. Cummings. I'm not running a network to bring, I'm not neutral in this thing yet. I got a candidate. But thank God ZAZA understood that and the conversation was honest. And then I started to speak to ZAZA like a voter, like other people. And that is how I talk to Mr. Cummings too. I talk the way other people think. That is how I ask Mr. Cummings my question when he myself talking. But for you to tell me Mr. Cummings a little boy, you guys are so damn disrespectful. You are so damn disrespectful that you say you support Mr. Cummings, but because Liberian people, too disrespectful. Don't tell me to read a post in total. No, because I just saw your post. You tell me, say I disrespect Tier 1. You the one disrespecting me because this was the one you put there. It makes sense. The one you put there, you call another man little boy. You said Mr. Cummings a little boy to Tier 1. How in the world Mr. Cummings to be a little boy to Tier 1? Eh? How in the world? And in fact, you said you were going to sleep. I don't know why you stay posting. Listen, that's what make you to be a follower. That's what make you to be a coward. So if you don't support Tier 1 because of somebody insulting you, or you don't support Mr. Cummings because somebody insulted you, then it's your damn business, my brother. I will tell you the real truth. It is your business. But you came here. I read your post long time today when you posted this. When you posted this one, disrespect. Mr. Cummings a little boy to Tier 1 Gonglo. Yeah. Mr. Cummings a little boy to Tier 1 Gonglo. Then you posted this one. The disrespect and supreme mentality of Cummings and his group got me to cut off my support. Who you supported? You supported who? Me? You supported Mr. Cummings? That's not truth. That's not true. That's not truth. Maybe you supported him in your heart. Nah. Well, I beg you. Yeah. He insulted Mr. Cummings. They made a little boy. I am Suya. It is the general we want. ANC chairman, USA. I'm telling you, man. You know, Vikings, we need to have a show together. I gotta find a time to come on your show, man. I owe your appearance. I just been a little busy. Hey, Mo, you kill me. Oh. Makes more, you kill me. Somebody screenshot it. Let me see what they got. He said, Tier 1 raised the income of the Ministry of Labor from 400 USD to 600 USD annually. He enacted labor laws considered the best labor law of the world. It's undeniable what? Deniable what? The fact. Please read the labor laws under Tier 1 leadership. You know, I love Liberians when they make up story. When they make up story, PLP, PLP, that the corrupt guy party, they just, in fact, not a party, he was a founder, but he's not the head of the party anymore. He's not a, but Vacans just plan it and set it up so I can appear. Maybe it will be like on a Wednesday. I don't know if you guys come on Wednesday or so. Yeah. You know, ZAZA know that even if you go onto any platform to make the case for Mr. Tier 1, they were asking questions and they were asking a tough question. The progressive and at the real truth, I was asking, I don't think I said a different way. LPP always come in during the election time. They have participated so many times in elections, and after the election, they will leave, and you will hear nothing from there until when the election coming out, they come back again. And so Liberians, we know them. I hope, but we are all opposition. I don't think. Uh, 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 so let me leave this with you. I hope you understand it today. The wonderful experience that people talk about, experience are only into jobs or profession. Okay, let's do this. You're a medical doctor. You've been a medical doctor for 20 years, 15 years. You're working as a medical doctor. And somebody who, and you active too, because most of the doctors go for refresher courses, active. And you get somebody who just been a medical doctor for 2 years. Well, that person are genius. But the man who been there for 15 years or 20 years got more experience, have seen more things. You have a CPA, like ZAZA. If you are a CPA, you work in that field for 20 years, and now you're doing your own business. You stay in the field. A man who just come in, there is no way that man got experience than you know. But if an engineer running for office, and that engineer, because that engineer work with government as the engineer for maybe the chief engineer at the public works, because he running for office, and I was the chief engineer to construct St. Joseph Construction Company. So you telling me because the man work for government, so he got experience than me, and he running for office, he never held the office before. He is working for somebody, I myself working for somebody. Oh, Liberian people. You know, I listened to Costa one time saying that, okay, let's say the man was senator for 12 years, And one ball can there too and beat the man and running after he say, my man, the man get experience more than you, man. Okay? This man, so because Maggie, they say Maggie running for senator, Maggie was minister of state, and anybody Maggie running again, Maggie get more experience than the person. Listen, we'll talk tomorrow. I will be on tomorrow, but I'll be a little busy tomorrow. Y'all have a good day. Bye for now. More, how are you? Okay, yeah, Vikings. I will. Maybe let me see. Sunday. I will call you. Sunday might be a good day. Or Sunday, maybe I can bring you on Sunday because I will be in I will be on the Liberty Radio on Sunday. So if you hear me right now, so inbox me. Then maybe on Sunday by I hope you'll be up because it will be like 8 o'clock in Liberia, which is 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 4 o'clock American time. Then you can co-host with me on my show because I will be on air every Sunday and Thursday. I will be there tomorrow, but I don't know what you'll be doing anyway. But we can do it on Sunday. You understand? Sunday. Okay, so 4 o'clock American time on Sunday. It will be 8 o'clock in Liberia on the Liberty Radio. So just inbox me all your information, please. Then I will let you know for Sunday, 4 o'clock American time. And then we can come on and then hook up to Liberia. And it's all about promoting music. I love that era because it's all CDC era. It's District 9, 6, all around that they get it. So that's a good thing. So we can hit them hard. Yeah. Okay, guys, y'all have a good night, man. LPP, I wish you the best. We want competition. That's the beauty of democracy. So, ANC people, you're gonna get best. I beg you. I even asked someone a question because tier one, working at government, early government. His sister worked there. His brother was deputy minister. So all of them served in the government. So all of them worked there, But that's it.